Ja. Markiert eller? 5 kok.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Ja.
Well, that's a bit of an embarrassing snafu. What happened here, Ollie? Fire that engineer. I want a new technician in the back room right now. Quickly, move around. All right, we want some action here. Somebody's head must roll for that. What the heck happened there? My goodness, folks. What happened there? I was just getting into that, and on we'll go on. It's Sunday Gremlins, that's right. Sounds like a television show. It's the Sunday Gremlin Show. Welcome back. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the monk. The monk, here we go. So we'll bring you this hoodie. Looks like something a monk would wear, doesn't it? No, Elon Musk for tech support, man. Launch me to the moon or to the stars. To the stars with Elon Musk. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Saturday night, February 15th, 2025. It's Night Owls. Well, it's sunrise with the Colonel. Actually, not Night Owls. We did Night Owls earlier. It's sunrise. Yeah. First off, to all the people out there who are like, you sound angry. Not angry. You look tired. I'm not tired. I'm okay. I do appreciate concern. Thank you very much for your concern about my health and welfare. I'm very grateful for that. It's nice to see people care. It's good to be loved. As Sally Field said, you really love me. You really do love me. Ooh, she took a lot of grief for that back in the day. Remember that at the award ceremony? Yes, Sally Field. I think that was when she got an Oscar or an Emmy for Not Without My Daughter or something like that. Anyway, welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Tonight, this morning, for those in South Africa, Europe, and other parts of the world to the east of the Eastern Seaboard. Welcome back. For those of you that are listening from the future and telling me my time is always wrong, it is wrong. My clock is fast now because I reset it. I'm actually slightly ahead. I'm about 30 seconds ahead. So that clock is in the future. It's even in the future of me. My PC says 11:10. That says 11:11. We are in the Twilight Zone. Through space and time to a dimension unknown. Rod Serling, the Twilight Zone. All right. Okay. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat, and then I'm just going to address a video that I just published. I don't know if anybody's going to watch it, and if people don't watch it, my feelings won't be harmed, but you've been warned. I've warned people. I call it the Trek 2.0. We'll see if people watch it. I've got a couple of comments in already. Probably just, okay. Just people thanking me and say good morning. Appreciate the when you post something on the video, comment, a like, dislike. It does help fuel viewing. Also, I did a video earlier this afternoon. I kind of like that. I kind of sat back here in the chair and kind of turned sideways and just kind of chilled, relaxed, and told me about some stuff. And that one is just now starting to get some views. It's double in the last 30 minutes from what it was 30 minutes prior. I got a hair that's not playing nice there in that part of the mustache. Stop it. Just trim the mustache earlier today. Shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, so I just dropped this from the Trek 2.0, and it's a warning to people. Beware scamsters, hucksters. There's someone that's on Twitter who had some sort of sports Twitter account. I'm not going to get into who it is. And this person has never talked about South Africa once, but they saw an opportunity to monetize or get clicks or get viewers and just started talking about this. For those who know nothing about me, I'm not some Johnny-come-lately. I've only been following this subject since 1979. Okay. Just a couple of days. I even got paid to work this topic in the Army for years. And I've stationed in the area, know it. So, and I've been doing this online like this. I didn't just decide to start doing this because Trump issued an executive order, but I've been covering these topics for 5 years now on YouTube. 5 years in February. It is now actually within 2 days, I think it was February 17th or thereabouts of 2020, when I actually started posting videos on my existing YouTube channel to tell people about what's going on in Africa. Not just South Africa, but Africa. So 5 years now I've been doing this. So anyway. So Hendo. Okay, first, before I go any further, folks, they don't get enough attention, enough recognition. There's 87 people here right now. So let me just ask you right now. Chris Marie is one. Hendo is here. Let's see who else is here. If we got another one, I'm looking to see. So if I miss any of my mods that are currently in the chat that have chatted, my apologies. But I see Chris Marie and I see Hendo. But to all my moderators, I ask that you give them a little applause, a thumbs up, a hand clap or something like that, or a thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, these people are unsung heroes. And quite frankly, I'm exhausting all of them. I'm shortening their lifespans because they feel so obligated and so dedicated to follow the streams and watch every time I'm broadcasting. Quite frankly, the only person that could possibly keep up with all my streams is Donald Trump. He's the only person that could keep up that energy that I have. So thank you to my mods. And when you're not here, I appreciate it. If you can't make it, don't. They're not compensated for their time. The best they get is a handshake from me and a lot of gratitude, and maybe if you're lucky, a hoodie and a T-shirt. So they do it out of the love for the message and let people know what's going on. Anyway, some really extraordinary people who are moderators, and they're fantastic. I've had some interest when people want to be moderators. If you want to be a moderator, you need to have been on the channel for a while and allow me to see you chat and interact with people and your behavior so I can get a feel for it. After you've been on the channel for a few weeks or something like that or longer and you're interested in being a moderator, then you send a message saying, I'd like to be a moderator. And I will send you a one-page instructions, my guidebook for my moderators, and they have to agree to it. And you must give me your real name, your real contact number. It's not for the public, that's just for me, so I can reach out to you. And then where you're actually at, so that I know who you are, so that I can come hunt you down if you misuse it. By the way, where'd that guy go? The guy misused it there that was harassing Pablo Charlie. Remember that? He hasn't been here for a few days. Haven't seen him. Yeah, the trolls just come in bunches. But my moderators do a fantastic job, and they're just wonderful people. All of them are pretty smart, too, except for Hendo. He's brilliant. He's not smart. He's brilliant. Oh, there's Arctic. Well, about damn time he did something. I asked if you were here. I went through. You weren't in the chat. Well, Arctic's feelings are hurt. Arctic was not a moderator for a long time. He's been with us for a long time, but he didn't step up and take that spanner until after he'd been around for a while. But Arctic as well. Arctic actually... Of all the people who've been here for almost all of these streams this past week that have just been bone crushing, and he's been flying back and forth between Africa and America and flying all over America. The guy is racking up more frequent flyer miles than Bill Clinton going to Epstein Island. I'm telling you. Arctic, I think you get more frequent flyer miles than Bill Clinton going to Epstein Island. Yeah, anyway, so he has been busting his tail as well. Also, Arctic, because of his experience having not immigrated, but I guess you could call it kind of emigrated to America, working in America, and traveling back and forth between South Africa. Not a refugee, not an asylum seeker, not a migrant, but a legal worker here. Green card, I think he might even be a green card, I don't know. But he's had some experience, and he understands it from a South African perspective. But it's good to have that perspective, but you really need both perspectives. You need a perspective of Americans who know South Africa and South Africans who know America, or at least think they know America. And that really helps out. So, All right. So, hello to Hendo, Crystal Stamen. Crystal, she had a dream last night. I lived in a trailer park. There were rats and cockroaches everywhere. I lived in a trailer park. There were no cockroaches and we had no rats. But they do exist. Yeah, the world over. Francois Leroux, welcome to you. Ilza Hugo Sedgefield is in from the Garden Route, Delaney Hall. Rhino Girl, okay, welcome to you from the United Arab Emirates. Tailfinder Warhawks. Pablo Charlie, Marius Skeppers. Jeska Zlotis, good morning to you. Yapi Brandt is back. Alfonso Ferreira. Janet Liddy's in from South Carolina. It's been a busy day, so heading to bed in a few minutes. Oh, sorry to see you go, Janet. It is late, though, on the East Coast here. Good morning. Waiting for the Colonel, wondering if he's sleeping for once. Crystal, I slept a bit this morning, then I got some sleep this afternoon, and I dozed off watching the crappy reboot of Roswell with the Latina girl complaining about immigration. It really ruined the whole vibe. She's pretty good looking, but it really ruined the vibe. Anyway, but I like the first bet. Well, first, the original Roswell was much better. There's Hendo, Chris Marie. All right, so NWA. Francois, I see the U.S. Embassy has confirmed via memo that has received the petition. That is correct, Francois, and I reported on that earlier today in my Night Owls and showed folks that on the screen. But that's just an image they put up. Yeah, we got the memo. We're going to pass it on. And it's also into the WhatsApp, the Telegram group, and also on our X community. Got the freaking fright of my life when a damn lion roar comes back through my phone. Sorry, Crystal. I actually turned it down yesterday, but I must have turned it back up. All right. Cool is back. Carl Erasmus. Jakes. On my way to pick up a driver's license. Oh, okay. South Africa's role in racism toward white people is fundamental to our values. Well, the racism is affecting everyone. Shawnee Gross, welcome to you. Ian from Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota, yeah. Did you sleep with the little fella? Yeah, for sure. We were having lutefisk in the bed, and I was bouncing nasties, not bumping nasties with him. Bumping up and down on the bed, you know, it was really special. You know, my grandma, my Oma, she come from Norway. She tell me all about this stuff here in the Minnesota. Yeah, I was having a good time. You know, we went to watch the twins and we came home with triplets. Oh, that's a dad joke, you know. That's for sure a dad joke. If you haven't heard one of those before, it's one of those dad jokes. You know, they tell those dad jokes up in Brennard. Yeah, if you've been to Brennard, you know, the rest of the country, they don't say Brennard, they say Brainerd. Well, it's quite strange here in Minnesota. We don't know what Brainerd is. No, that's Brennard. We know Brennard. Anyway. Minnesota. Yeah, I'm only awake because we got high wind advisory. Yeah, Stephanie, we got some high winds around here the past few days too. I thought my solar panel was going to fall off the roof. All right. And Ian Saunders, Jan Filion is back. Luke M. Yvonne Farrell, welcome to Let's Talk Trash. Let's Talk Trash. Okay, you're reporting for duty? Cool beans. By the way, folks, put some more custom emojis up because we have so many members now, over 300 members. The more members you have, the more emojis you get to put up. I tried to put a few more up, but they didn't have the right aspect ratio. So when I have time, maybe tomorrow evening, I might put some more up, and then you have more custom emojis. And also, I can put more levels up now. YouTube has added. So if you've been on the channel for over a period of time, it's up to 2 years now. I'm going to add more because we've gone longer than that. You can go with bigger longevity emojis. Please, I want to start off with the mandatory questions. That's good. Cool. I like that. No. Yes, no. And there we go. Here come the thanks in for the moderators. Kioma, Heidi, Marty, Delaney Hall, and Cool, Ilza, Carl, Pablo Charlie. Let's watch Elon and Trump interview. There's no copyright. Elon interviewed Trump. I don't know what you're talking about, Pablo Charlie. You're going to have to give me more information on that. You're presuming I catch all the news. I mean, I got lots going on here, so I don't catch everything. Alfonso, welcome to you. Arctic is vomiting heavily. Dude, I told you not to mix Coke and wine. It's Coke and beer. Coke and beer. Pablo chased somebody away. Okay. You made my hangover cock. That's just been... Ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering what he's talking about, I made a video which I sent to a few select people. It was targeted for Hendo, just for his laugh, but it was specifically for Arctic. It's a version of my Coke and beer. I sat back and chilled. I cracked open a bottle of Polana Hefeweizen and had poured it into a Polana glass, which you don't find in America. That was hand carried from Germany. And I drank it and I put some beer in it. He's still suffering the after effects of that. Also shared it with a couple other people like Kevin and Ronaldo. I think I sent it to Eric as well, yeah. Oh my goodness. That's a funny video. Juan Epic Good says, love your channel. Worked with U.S. citizens in conflict zones since 2007 as CPO, Chief Petty Officer. Seeing what's coming. Beautiful South Africa. Okay. Nandis Killian says, good morning. Good morning to you. Chris Hickam just saw an interview with Earl Trump. Very interesting. Also quite funny in parts. He thinks he lives in Langabon. Yeah, no, somebody's trying to get him for an interview for me. I don't have contact with him. So I'm waiting to hear back from Sony if they're going to get him. I'd be happy to interview him, yeah. Jake says, Marine Corps veteran allegedly kicked off flight for her T-shirt. Delta Airlines T-shirt was scripted to support vets. I didn't see that, but Delta Airlines is very unfriendly to the military, very unfriendly to Americans in general. The idiots that run Delta Airlines are troublemakers. And remember, they're the ones that barred people from not putting a mask on a 2-year-old, even though that violated federal aviation safety standards. They demanded as an airline, and so they barred people for life because their 2-year-old kept taking the mask off. Horrific airline. United, Delta, these are airlines that don't care for their passengers. And yeah, an American is just useless. They're always late. So we're really screwed here. We have very few quality airlines. The ones we have are small, like JetBlue and others. Southwest is still a good airline, but it's a discount airline. It's not very much of a discount now. Also, it travels everywhere. Yeah, I know Arctic doesn't get the miles. That's what sucks, man. Carlo, Jeepers Chris, I'm trying to like all your videos, but it's difficult to keep up. I do not allow moss to grow under my feet. That's for darn sure. Don't want any fungus down there. Okay, all right. So Charlene, welcome to you. Whoops, jumped ahead on me there. Walter says, thanks to Arctic Hendo, and thank you, Chris. And number 3, you guys give us a fresh perspective. All right, Stephanie, Peter Oberholzer, Edward Dos Santos. Artie says, just sent you a pic of all the places I've been the last 2 years. Seen a lot more than most Americans ever do and will help anyone who wants to come. Okay, let me see what you sent me, and I'll see if I've been to these places. Okay. Oh, yeah. Can I show that? Is that okay, Arctic? Can I show that image? Okay, can I show that image? If I can show that, I'll put it on there, show people. It won't be obviously in your account. Okay, thank you for that. All right, let me pull it up now. I saved it. There, that's Trump world. We want that one. There it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is, in the past couple years, flying in America. He's a South African. These are the places that he's been. Okay, I will tell you there's a couple places on here I have not been. But he has really peppered the East Coast, and I can't even identify all these places. It also hit Canada, too, I see. At least it looks like it's Canada. Yeah, it is Canada because north of the Great Lakes up there. So let's take a look. He has not been to a lot of places I've been, but, you know, he's just had 2 years to do it. But pilots get around, man, I'll tell you. Right, so let's take a look. These are places that Arctic has been in the past 2 years. So here you go. All right, look at all those blue bubbles, man. So he's been to places in the Caribbean that I've only been to once or twice. Look at that. He's got the Bahamas on there. He's got, what else is that? I can't see. He's not been to Haiti. That's good news. It looks like Grand Cayman he's been to as well. And then he's there in Baja California. I've never been there. San Diego, looks like LA, San Francisco, Oakland, been there. Up to Missoula, Montana, that looks like. He's got Salt Lake City on there. Looks like South Dakota as well. Chicago, I'm seeing. And then just the entire East Coast is absolutely peppered. Man, that's a lot of flying. A lot of flying. That's one guy, one dude. Man, carbon criminal number 1 is Arctic. He's our carbon criminal. Our resident carbon criminal. Welcome to our carbon criminal. Yeah, it's putting out all that carbon for the planet to spew on. See, I told you, folks, there'd be fewer and fewer people here. Look at this. It's 142 people tonight. Anyway, thank you for that. I'm in no man's land, Tennessee, mountain area. Okay, Stephanie. Waiting for the Jack Pines to come down. Johan Pratt, welcome to you. Vena de Toys on Monday. I haven't had a chance to set that stream up. I've got that. Franz Kronier, who hasn't responded, and then Rob Hersoff on Thursday. So, yeah. All right. Okay, what else we got here? Visited them in South America. It was awesome to see. It's like the movie True Grit, watching Trump just pull the cash from USAID. Yeah, it is. It's Arctic bias against the North. I see that. Well, it's apparently a lot of leftists out there. You know how it is, Light Rain. He can't fly out there. The planes put out too much emissions. Chemtrail Daddy. Yep, it's before 7 on a Sunday morning. Not surprised. No, I know, Stephen. I'm just joking around. I've been joking around with people. So 6 a.m. South Africa, too early. Well, okay, we got everybody up now. We're rolling here. So we do have a number of things. For those who don't know, we have a Making South Africa Great Again community on Twitter. You're welcome to join us over there. And we've also got the WhatsApp group. The first WhatsApp group is closed because you only have 1,500 people in it, and then no more. Now, if you've applied for it, don't retract your request, because people are dropping out of it because I guess they want to come here and chat, and it's not a chat group because they don't read or listen to what I say. Plus we got a lot of stuff for people sharing the link, and those people never heard what it's about. Someone just told them about it, and they share the link, and they go there, and they see no activity, so they leave. So as those people quit, I've been adding people. I've been able to add about 20 people so far over the past day or so, where people join and then quit. So that will be dynamic. I'm not going to if there's a request, you'll go in there. The second group has about 600 people in it out of the 1,500. But to overcome that, a suggestion from someone who's created his own group on Telegram. I created a group on Telegram with the same name. The Telegram group can take 220,000 people. It has the same restrictions. It's not a conversation zone. It's just a zone to get the information. And I post the links from the executive order to the embassy publications and announcements, including their public announcement they had received the petition, and they will forward it to the Secretary of State and to the President. So those are true facts. The only other thing you should find in there is an analysis video from me. So, for instance, you could find in there this one here, the Groottrek 2.0, which I haven't had a chance to put up yet, but that would be one thing that you would... Wait a second. Have I got something on there? I think I've got to fix something here. Oh, indeed I do. It doesn't look right. How did that get in there? Wow. Okay. It had little hyphen mark in there in the title. I didn't see that. It slipped in there. Little artifact. How did that happen? Well, yeah, you say it's 6 a.m., but in 10 or 15 minutes, I've had 505 people watch the video already. So somebody's up somewhere. 507 already. So, yeah. So that will be in there. The link to that, the 14 questions, the dispelling rumors, those are all analysis about what's going on related to the program. It won't be videos about going to watch my rugby ascent. It won't be videos about me reporting the South African National Defense Force being surrounded and surrendered in Goma, something like that. It's just for the stuff. Okay. All right. It's even. Yeah, we have a great swarm here. It's before 7 on Sunday. Okay. People are either hangover or they're on their way to church, or both, are. Been up since 4. When you live on a farm, you have to. Emerenta Quinn. Oh, I know that. Milking those cows, 5 o'clock in the morning and 5:30 every evening. Woo! It's funny you should ask. 1-440. I will give you the link. I went ahead and made a text file so as not to burden my mods, because this stuff just keeps coming up all the time. So here's the Telegram group, ladies and gentlemen. I have it right here. And this I'll be able to keep open in future. Paste. That's a Telegram group. It's open. Remember, it's not a chat group. It's just to get information. So only I and the moderators can comment in there. And if you don't like that, then you're just in the wrong place looking for the wrong thing. So check it out. Okay. Have to bake. Oh, okay. Ilza Hugo, what are you baking? You baking some hot apple pie? Some rhubarb pie? What you got cooking there? Baking bread? What are you drinking, Yappy? Oh, my goodness. I'm drinking this Starbucks flavored coffee-like beverage. It's not coffee. I don't like coffee. You know, coffee is an evil substance invented by Satan to enslave mankind. That's original. I came up with that. If you ever hear from anyone else, they stole it from me. It's true. I came up with it. Yeah, so there you go. Frappuccino. This is bottled by PepsiCo. And they make money. The Starbucks folks get a cut of the money, and it costs me a fortune. These little buggers here today, because of inflation, cost about $1. Well, from the discount warehouse, it's now $22 for 15 of them. So that's what, $1.60 or something like that a piece. They used to be about 60 cents. Really crazy what's going on. You used to be able to get a dozen of them for $8.99, then $9.99. Now they give you 15, but they've jacked the price up all the way to $23 a case. You actually need to ease up on that stuff. I have been drinking few of those recently. It's very easy to drink several a day. Overcast and drizzly in Joburg this morning. I saw the clouds at Ellis Park and the clouds at Loftus. Yep. It rained, I guess, in Pretoria after the rally this morning. Getting ready to go to Kruger this morning. Am I jealous? Not at all. Never been to Kruger. Have no interest in going to Kruger National Park. Nope. I've been to game parks. I've been to see wildlife. Once you've been to the Serengeti or the Okavango, things pale. The only place I haven't been that I want to go is Etosha. I really want to go to Etosha. It doesn't mean I'm not willing to go to Kruger. I mean, if you got some rich person wants to fly me up there and put me in a luxury lodge for a week, I'll go. Freya Mensa. Servus. Wie geht's? Ziemlich gut, ich hoffe. Yeah. Stuff is kryptonite. It is. It'll melt your heart. No worries, Marius. You. Oh, by the way, folks, if you haven't caught up on it, when I'm going through the chat and I'm reading the chat, I don't always give the user's name. Somebody wrote to me earlier and said that I said such and such in the chat. I said no such thing. I rubbished what was said. Someone posted, I read their comment, and then I rubbished it. But the person felt compelled to tell me I was wrong. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. We do all get things wrong. But in this case, I wasn't wrong. You misunderstood. You heard what you thought you heard. What you heard was me reading the comment, and then I rubbished the comment. Okay. I worked a ranch out in New Mexico up at 3:30 every morning to feed the horses and cook for the guys before they went out. Oh, Stephanie, that's pretty cool. You know, they do that in Canada, big hunting lodges up there and such. You have the people come out and cook. They make a fortune. Well, back in, oh gosh, when was this? When I was enlisted? Is that when it was? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was when I was enlisted. I went to a Gast house on an exercise, and I met the owner of the Gast house, and he was a big hunter. But you couldn't hunt squat in Germany. All the rules and regulations. You could go boar hunting, but that was about it. So he organized trips to Canada, and he would go to Canada for, I think, 3 or 4 months in the wintertime, or winter and spring, or fall and winter, something like that. I don't remember. It's been like 40 years ago since he told me the story. And he would make, like, back in the 80s, he was making like $100,000 in those few months because how much he made those big camps. And, you know, he said, like you said, my Gast house here doesn't make money. Sometimes I lose money, but it's my labor of love. You know, it was handed down from the family. So I go back there and I make all the money that covers all my expenses, covers the flights. And, you know, I live well off of those 3 or 4 months. It's pretty crazy. I don't know if they still do that, but I'm sure they do. Yeah, once you've seen a buck, you've always seen it. Yeah, once you've been to the Serengeti. Ooh, once you've been there. Woolies have sourdough. Woolies is overpriced. Charlene, I'm seeing there's some severe weather in the south. Are the winds reaching Pennsylvania? Not at the moment, but we had bad winds here a day or two ago. It was bad. I think it was yesterday that felt like the walls were going to fall down. Clive Malherba says 3 months of my Army service was walking the Etosha Pan. What an experience with the game. Oh, I'll bet you that was amazing, Clive. Yeah, the Etosha Pan, yeah. That's the one place I haven't been. I really like to go. The other thing I'd like to do, which I haven't done yet, is do the trikes, the dune bikes on the dunes there between Swakopmund and Wolfish Bay. I've never done that. I've seen people do it. I've driven by, but I've never done it. Still recovering from last night's stream. It's still last night for me, Mickey. Cock Woolies is perfectly priced. Listen to Arctic, man. Yeah, Arctic flies. He flies billionaires all over the world. we lowly peasants can't afford Woolies. Snowstorm. Oh, yeah, we did have snow in effect on my internet. That's right. Thank you, Mick. I forgot about that. Well, it was a snowstorm, snow/rain. In fact, I had to go out and shovel. It was about this much. It wasn't that much, but it was in German. Are you still here, Freya? Freya will know what this means. And if Garrett is here, he'll know too. Much. Much is slush. So it was slush. It was already turned to slush. And the problem is the temperature drops. Like right now, it's right at freezing. So it's edge of freezing. And once it freezes, if people step on it, then it becomes a problem. It hardens and you can't get it up without salt or breaking it apart. It takes a lot longer. So I went out earlier and it was pretty easy. Just a little heavy because it was full of water where it melted. And the slush and did the driveway and did the walkway and brushed off my car, the one that sits outside. Yeah, that only took me about 20 minutes. It was pretty quick because it wasn't that much. But yeah, if I hadn't got it, it would have been a mess. So, and remember, I was streaming last week. It was 1 o'clock in the morning and there was a snowplow out here. And when there's an ice storm and they were cleaning, they kept scraping the street up and scraping the street up. I'm like, what the hell is that? Is that kid on that damn escalator again? Good Lord. That's a quote from Mallrats. Yeah, so this time they came during the day. So anyway, Marius have many friends in Canada. They just stay out of politics and are perfectly happy in the summer. Dude, you have been to Macy's over the holidays? Cracker Barrel? Cracker Barrel? That's for old white folks, man. Come on, Arctic. That's for white supremacists. Nah, Cracker Barrel's a down-home meal, folks. That's right, down Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel. We got Cracker Barrel right down the street here. Actually, did you know that, Arctic? It's not too far from the, well, it's from the airport. It's about 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, we got a Cracker Barrel right down here. Yep. Macy's. Ugh, Macy's. Yeah. Old white folks, yeah. already go to snow last night. Last night, he thought the house was going to implode. Yeah, they're loud, especially if there's not much snow out there. If there's a lot of snow, it almost sounds like a buffer's like as they plow. You know, and it's loud and rumbling. But if the streets are almost bare and that plow is dragging across that pavement, that concrete, or that blacktop, it's loud, man. Cracker Barrel breakfast is the best. No, Bob Evans breakfast is the best. Hands down, Bob Evans. Not Cracker Barrel. Johnny come latelys. Speaking of Canada, there was a fight between Canada and the USA hockey team. Really? Are you talking about the national sides, like the under-20s, or the national teams, or just a team based in the U.S. from the NHL and one from Canada? Yeah, there's some Canadians acting like fools. Their feelings are hurt because they're going to have tariffs against them. Well, quit acting like turds against us and you won't have this. Yeah, Pablo, I rarely eat breakfast too. I rarely eat breakfast. I like breakfast, but I rarely eat it. In my lifetime, since I become an adult, since I left the Army, when I was enlisted in the Army, I ate breakfast pretty much every day. But since I left the Army, I probably only eat breakfast if I'm in a hotel or something like that. Rarely do I eat. Sometimes you eat here because I'm just hungry. I grab a little something to nosh on. First night in USA, jet lag, tired, first time in snow, and this house started to shake at 3 a.m. Was on the floor. What the heck was that? Hang on a second here. Something on my... That's part of my dinner there. I had Nürnberger tonight. Nürnberger Bratwurst, Sauerkraut, Brezel, und was da noch? Knödel. That was my dinner tonight. I had a German meal tonight. Hotel breakfast. You say that, Arctic, but I will tell you the Hilton in Santon City makes an amazing breakfast. Absolutely amazing. They also charge you $35 for it, but as a Diamond member, I got free breakfast. But Hilton changed their program and shystered us out of that. Now you have to have 60 days or something like that. 60 stays, 60 days. Used to be 20 stays or 30 nights a year would keep your Diamond status, and they doubled it because of COVID. They let us stay for a while because people couldn't go to hotels, but then they screwed us and doubled it. I can't qualify. I'm not staying at Hilton properties that often anymore. I mean, I'm not working for somebody who sends me around and pays for my hotels. So that's all out of my pocket. I managed to keep it going on my own for years because I would travel and I would stay preferentially in Hilton properties, whether it's the Hilton Garden Inn, or the Homewood Suites, all the other ones. But yeah, I don't go anymore because they took my Diamond status away. I'm a Gold member though, automatically, because I have an American Extortion card. My American Extortion card is affiliated with my account, so I get automatic Gold status. But I wanted Diamond status. Yep. First, okay. Xander von Rendsburg. So Wyoming is te door and Alaska is te door. Waar is die goedkoopste plekken? Xander, it depends what you want. I mean, without knowing something about you or what your interests are. I mean, if you like to hunt, like outdoors and fishing, Alaska, Wyoming are fantastic. If you like to have lots of people around you, neither one of those are good places. If you want to go to the opera, Hilton America sucks ass, dirty, outdated, and cock service. Why are you shitting on Hilton? I wasn't talking about Hilton America. I said Hilton in Santon City. All right, Arctic. Is there a lot of turbulence in the air? Are you getting a lot of noise coming from the outside? Put your headset on, man. Sierra Papa 5. This is Atlanta Tower. Sierra Papa 5. Vector in on runway 3 and stop drinking the Jim Beam, Arctic. Louisiana is also popular for sportsmen. In fact, they call it the sportsman's paradise. But if you like to be at the toilet of North America, welcome to Louisiana. Where do you think all that water comes from? It comes from the entire Midwest, the Plain States, flows down the Missouri, Mississippi River, and into the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, sorry, the Gulf of America, into the Gulf of America. And where is the toilet flush out at? New Orleans. New Orleans, man. Marriott for the win. Oh no, Marriott. No. I have an affinity card with them as well. I like Ogdensburg on the St. Lawrence. I'm not familiar with it, Johan. Don't know that town. Atlanta here is good. No. Atlanta is a traffic nightmare of epic proportions. It reminds me of Bangkok. One night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster. The bars are temples and they... Oh my goodness. Murray Head. One night in Bangkok. Yeah, stay away from Atlanta, man. Not the place you want to be. No. You want to go to Atlanta? You want to go to Georgia? Go to Augusta. Augusta's nice. Oh, it's also got some very bad parts, okay? But Augusta, generally speaking, is nice. Yeah, Arctic says, hell no to hell no. Hell to the no, to the max, the max. Rhino girl, welcome. I thought you were there earlier. My cousin is police officer in New Orleans. God bless your cousin, the Stephanie. That's not easy living. I would live in Virginia, Vermont, New Hampshire, or Wyoming. New Hampshire is wonderful. And New Hampshire doesn't have any income tax, last time I checked. It tends to be conservative, but they vote schizophrenically. They may be conservative, but they also vote for liberal politicians. It's very confusing. Or rhinos. But New Hampshire is beautiful. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Green Mountains are up there in Vermont. And Vermont's lovely, too, but it's run by a bunch of leftist hate wankers. Wyoming is just perfect, except there's nobody there. That's probably why it's nice. And it's very conservative. Yep, it's shocking the Cheneys are from there because they have no sense of conservatism whatsoever. They're neocons. And the daughter is just a rhino. She's not even that. All the high-class cheap housing is in the bad parts. Auburn is lekker. Yeah, there you go, Arctic. Yeah, Auburn is nice. Nice university there, too. Yeah, Georgia has some nice spaces to it. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're driving up from France, what's Warner Lambert, what is it? It's the airbase there. Warner something, Air Force Base, and you go north and you head towards Atlanta. As you get approached, it's just big, and there's a big ring around Atlanta. It's just a nightmare. The first time I was ever to Atlanta, I was a private in the Army. I had just finished basic training, and they didn't fly us. No. From Missouri to Augusta, Georgia, we were on a bus, a Greyhound bus. Yep, and we're picked up at the base with our duffel bags after we finished basic training, loaded up in our uniforms, and driven to Atlanta. From Atlanta, we were taken out. We switched buses because some of those people were going to Fort Rucker for their schools down there, infantry school and such, and aviation school for Fort Rucker. And those who were going to school for infantry went to Fort Benning. And then those of us going for signal school would be sent to Fort Gordon. And I think there was one other place. But so we all got separated. We got different buses. So I got a bus to go to Fort Gordon, Georgia, which is outside Augusta. And I got to Atlanta. It was 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that at the Greyhound terminal. And I could just see skyscrapers all around, and it was hot. I said it was hot because it was, when did I go there? November, December. So it was January. It was January of 1984, and it was hot in January for me because, I'm coming from Ohio where it's snowy, and Missouri where we were freezing to death. So, yeah, that was my first time in Atlanta. My last time in Atlanta was just a couple years ago covering the rugby. And it's just a nightmare. I watched someone have an accident, just a dumb accident coming out of the airport because they weren't paying attention and rear-ended somebody. It was, they had just picked up a hire and they weren't paying attention. There's nothing I could do. I could see it coming and they couldn't hear there's nothing I could do. Just, it was too quick. Lori Letton in here. Oh my goodness. Lori, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on a second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Are you in Lappenranta? No. Lappenranta. It's on the border. No, there's a casino there. I don't think that's where he's at. I think he's in Helsinki. Yeah. You can call off the search for Lori Letton, and we found him. He's back in the chat. He's been missing for weeks. Yeah, I think it's going to cost us about 80,000 euros for the investigation to find Lori, but it'll be okay. Don't worry about it. We'll pay it back in the super chats that never come in. Thanks. Yeah, we just called off the search for Lori Letton, and Lori's back. Jean Telfun here and is here. American cities are mostly liberal, most rural places conservative. Exactly. Would love to live in Arkansas or Georgia. Okay. More power to you. Every state pays federal taxes. That's right. State income tax. Delaware has that as far. They do. Delaware has state income tax. Yep. What Delaware does have is a generous corporate tax scheme, very low corporate taxes, and that's why corporations headquartered there. Victoria's Secret models wanted to escape again. Is Hendo looking for Victoria's Secret models? Yep. I would also live in Nevada. Nevada's a place I could live, yeah, but there are way too many people in Las Vegas. But I love Vegas. Vegas is fun, man. Vegas is a lot of fun. Geez, makes even more sense. What's that? Yeah. No, yeah, so Vegas is nice, but that's the Silver State, Nevada. And Nevada makes a lot of money off the gaming concessions, so they're easy on you for other things. When I reported for national service, we traveled for 3 days to get where we're supposed to be. Yeah, I got you, Rupert. I got you. Yep. By bus or by truck, by deuce and a half, something like that. Yeah, it's, what did Hendo say that people are saying? Oh, the second group, yeah. I tell you, folks, eventually the best place going to be is going to want to be is probably, for most people, is going to be in that Telegram group. But I know a lot of people are reticent to use Telegram. I don't know why, because Telegram, you can hide your number. People don't find your number. You just have an account there. But hey, whatever floats people's boats. Okay, so where are we at here now? Trek 2.0 is at 1.2. It's trending at the bottom of people watching, but it's not the best hour, and it's a weekend. Rudy says, I'm staying. I might change, but Lions fans, we used to hard times. Yeah, indeed you are if you're a Lions fan. Arkansas has awesome people, love the accent, and people have got a rebel streak from smuggling moonshine. Well, they also have the lowest educational outcomes in all of America, rivaling Mississippi. Straw Hat Jan, thank you for informative videos. Really appreciate you taking the time to make these. You're very welcome. It disturbs me, all the people that are getting tens of thousands of views and followers that have no idea what they're talking about. There's a guy on Twitter who's running around making all these claims, and someone called him out on it, and they just beat the guy up. He's like, oh, who are you? You have 6 followers. It doesn't matter how many followers you have, folks. The number of followers you have doesn't make you an authoritative source or even tell anybody you know what the hell you're doing. I mean, I remember when my channel was removed a couple years ago, Ronaldo sent me a video of a woman who was shaving her vagina on YouTube. It's an educational video, so you could sit there and watch her vagina as she shaved her vagina. This rail-thin, emaciated famine victim she looked like, shaving her vagina. Like, what the hell is this? My videos got taken down for not violating community standards. That was in community standard because it's educational. And that one had like 160,000 views in one day. I'm like, the number of views you get, the number of subscribers you get doesn't translate to the quality of the content. There's a lot of crap channels. Now, there's some really good channels. Serpent ZA is good. You got a lot of people that really know what they're doing and put some good content out there. What's her name? The biker chick. Itchy Boots. Her content is very good. Lori says, I watch a lot of your reviews after the fact. Plenty of good stuff set lately. Well, lately? Always, Lori. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just teasing, Lori, because we enjoy you being here. It keeps me focused on Scandinavia. It really does, because I love Scandinavia. I really do. I can't afford Norway. Sweden has gone to the immigrants, as is Norway. But I still love Finland, the Åland Islands, Estonia. Yeah, I love Scandinavia. Bornholm, which is in Sweden. But Stefan, the whistleblower, I checked out the whole of New Zealand before I moved here. I was adamant I'm moving to Dunedin. Well, I'm here 20 years now and still to see Dunedin. Yeah, I haven't been to Dunedin either. I've only been to New Zealand for the Rugby World Cup in 2011, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I plan to go back, but it's just not what Jacinda Ardern. So since then, it's just I've been focusing my attention on trips to UK, Europe, and South Africa. Tennessee is also really cool if you love a good. Yeah, Tennessee's nice, especially East Tennessee. Live at a game farm. A while ago, my neighbor was shot and killed. His wife and daughter gang raped. We live behind electric fence and firearms. This is no way to live. I'm with you, Alexandra. And what a horrible thing, because, okay, here's the sad thing, and I don't mean to bring this up because I'm sure there are people in here, men and women, but probably women especially, who have actually been victims of rape or been raped. So my apologies to mention this, but I mean, you know, it's one thing that the horrible act of violating someone that way and doing that to them. But then think about the fact that many of these rapists are HIV positive. The possibility of pregnancy, and if you're a devout Christian, you're not going to have an abortion. So what's going to happen there? And they have an offspring of that violent act. And then also herpes and all kinds of things. It's horrible. I mean, I think that people who are rapists should be publicly castrated. Yeah, it's just horrible stuff, folks. Leandra Cecilia Juanes, good morning. This channel is addictive. Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. And I'm sorry to hear about the experience of your neighbors, Alexander. Alexander, I'm not a counselor, but I do talk to those who've suffered the trauma of farm invasions. It's not a pleasant thing to do. I know several people in South Africa who survived farm invasions, or those who've lost family members. And I do talk to them in private. If anyone would like to talk, you can let me know and put me in touch with them. Johan Graben, New York State, North, is it a good state? Yeah, New York State is north. The north of it's great, but the taxes in New York, the state entirely, are horrible. But New York State is absolutely gorgeous, particularly when you get up into the Adirondacks. You get up there towards Lake Placid. It's just gorgeous. Lake Champlain. Beautiful place. I mean, New York is amazing. Beautiful forest, not heavily populated, gorgeous. It's a shame it's wasted on New York. But New York City, no thanks. Unless you're a millionaire who wants to live in Manhattan. Morning, Bushfeldput. Which states make up the Bible Belt? Well, that's a loose description, Blair. It's like, what's a baby boomer? That's a little better defined than the Bible Belt. Basically, the southern states from the East Coast, from the Carolinas over to Arkansas and Texas. Xander says, non-fake news, exactly, your daily dose. This is why I want to help. Lake Placid is awesome. It is. It is amazing. That entire Hudson Valley is gorgeous. I've driven the Hudson Valley up to Canada. It is a nice drive. Really beautiful. And you do it in the fall, it's even better. Yep, pretty cool stuff. All right. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, what's going on in South Africa should never happen to anybody. And that's why anybody who makes these nonsensical things is just a shameful person. They're a shameful person. They have no respect for human dignity, and screw them all. Anyway, let me just take a quick look. Let me give you an update about the channel here, folks. We're doing quite well. February has been the best month of this channel, bar none, of the entire history of this and the other channels. Yeah. We started on, well, we started picking up around January 23rd. We went from 3,000 views in a day to, or 4,000 to 24,000. We gained 20,000 more. We stayed around that 20,000 mark for several days, and we hit 50,000 on the 27th, back down 26th, 20th. But then we took off on January 30th. And since January 30th, well, the lowest we've had since January 30th on a single day is about 80,000 on February 6th. And we've hit a peak of 179, and we're just pretty much staying above 100,000. We're staying above 80,000 the whole way, and we've gone over 100,000 several days. Fantastic. The number of subscribers is growing, and that's wonderful. 43,748. Slowed down a little bit today. It's a weekend, maybe that's why. But we had a great Thursday and Friday here. So let me take a look very quickly here at... also, I do share this. By the way, revenue-wise for the channel, which is coming in from advertising, there's some coming from Super Chats and members, but the advertising is where it's really coming in because people are watching videos. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Yeah, so right now, actually, the Super Chats have picked up a bit. So to about 67% of the revenue that's come in this month so far has come from advertising, and usually that's about 5 or 10%. So that's a huge difference. That's from all these people watching the channel. So thank you for that. I'm a prisoner in my own house. I'm scared for my wife and kids to go to town alone, but I have to take care of business. No, you're right, Alexander. Do you mind telling us what part of the country you live in? If you want, there's no obligation to do that. All the states where some tiny claps you over the head with a Bible if you walk in the strip club at 4 o'clock in the morning. Why is it tiny at a strip club at 4 o'clock in the morning? Veterans ANCs and Konto Military Wing are spearheading a project aimed at reintegrating former comrades back, including former President J. Good luck with that. They're all like 95 years old and decrepit and weigh 400 pounds. Your 6-year-old can outrun them. If you like hiking and skiing, where would you say some of the best places for peeps in America? Colorado, but I wouldn't live there. It's weed capital. Colorado, Utah, Mexico. Those are all great states for that. Wyoming is also great for that. Yep. And then in the Northeast, you've got New Hampshire is great for that. Vermont, Maine. Those are all great places for hiking and skiing. 5 adults in our home. Only one son still has work for now. We watch your channel like hawks, as it is the one place where we get trustworthy news. Thank you for that, Susan. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry that only one of you are working. That's a shame. There's nothing more demoralizing than having the desire to work and not being able to work because you're precluded from work based on artificialities. If you have the skills, the desire, and the aptitude to work, you should be able to work. When you're not able to work because someone prevents you because of artificialities like the color of your skin, your faith, your origin, your gender, that's a immoral and shameful act. Can I ask, what is the Bible about and described that way? It's just a place with deep Christian values, and people tend to be heavy churchgoers. Yeah, and it's called the Bible Belt, just because it's deeply conservative Christian. Jason Paul, that's awesome. Okay. I heard of your channel on the Gareth Cliff Show a while back. You give some insights on there from time to time. I do, not frequently enough. Usually I have to prompt them to go on there. They never say no, but they rarely come looking for me. I think once they've come looking for me, whereas Biz News contacts me frequently. I'm also on Biz News a lot. Chris Sten interviews me. Alec never interviews me. I guess I'm not important enough. Maybe one day I'll be important enough for Alec to interview me, but Alec has never interviewed me. All right, so yeah, but yeah, on Gareth Cliff. I enjoy going Gareth Cliff. It's a lot of fun because he's a smart ass like me. Jason Paul. I heard of your channel. Okay, all right. So light rain. Upstate New York is beautiful. Year-round fishing, but the winters are epic. Lake effects, snow, dump meters of night, and paralyzed everything. And the taxes are insane. Amarenta Quinn, welcome to you. Again, Leandra, Southern Meats. Okay. Ryan, would you please tell us a bit about Wyoming, Montana? Oh, Wyoming is stunning, folks. Let me see if when did I go there? was 2020. It would have been. So let me see if I can't find some pictures. I made a video. In fact, let me see if I can find that video. Hang on. If it's on this channel. Yeah, here we go. All right, cool. Let's do that. And I'll show you some of Wyoming, okay? All right, so here you go. I'll probably get a copyright claim on some of these. But this is in Wyoming, in the Green Mountains, the moose crossing the Green River in Wyoming. Okay, hang on a second. It's hard to see because the light was early morning there. But you can see in the middle of the screen some antlers moving towards the middle of the screen. Somebody's whispering. Look to the left of the screen. Where the hell's he at? I guess he's not in this one. Oh, there he is in the middle. You see his antlers. That's not the best one. So that's that one. Okay. All right, let's get rid of that one. Okay. Okay, this is Square Top Mountain, and this is beautiful. It's called Square Top because imagine this has a square top. So that is live. That water, how fast that's moving in that alpine lake, that's not me speeding up the video. That's how fast the wind was blowing the water across the lake. So what I did is I took my phone, I set it down and on a tripod, and you can see the breeze. Right, here comes the wind. Yeah, it's a small table mountain. That's what it is, Square Top Mountain, a small table mountain. This is the Green River Range. Yep. So that's kind of boring because it's 5 minutes. You know, it's just 5 minutes of me showing it. So I'll take that out. But that's in Wyoming. Okay. Okay, now this one is, I'll jump ahead on this a few times because this is a whole bunch of stuff. I clipped this together. It's about 51 minutes. There's the moose. Anyway, that's a 51-minute video. I put a lot of time putting that together, but all that music was available for free on YouTube. Then they copyright claimed me on some of it. I can't remember which parts they did. Okay, here's the one I was looking for with the moose, which I put in another stream. All right, here you can clearly see him. Okay, hang on. All right, you can see him crossing the river right there. You got the cow and the bull. It's the Green River. That's looking at me. Got the ears looking up, making sure I'm not bothering him. Anyway, that's Wyoming. That's just little bits of it. Now I'll find the pictures for the rest of those are videos. So I put those videos up on the channel. They've been there forever. I went to Wyoming to the Green Mountain Range in 2020 to a trip for veterans to help them adjust to life after military, which is ironic because there are people been out 15 or 20 years or longer who are having a hard time adjusting to civilian life. Special Forces operators, Delta, Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, things like that, Air Force Special Ops, Marines. And I was not Special Ops. I was an intel officer, but I worked with them a lot. And I had only been in the Army for not even a year when I did this. But they asked me because some people actually knew who I was because of what I'd done in Africa. And they're like, oh, Colonel Wyatt, yeah, we want him here. That guy knows. And so, yeah. Anyway. So let me find photographs. I'll show you some of the photographs. It's going to be over here, I think. That's in 2020. So, no, it's going to be before this. So S21 what's the one before that? S9? Can't remember. I don't know where that's at. I wonder if it's here. S9 Plus. I think that's what it was. Okay. S9 Plus, 2018, S9 Plus, 2019. 2018. Well, none of those are helpful. What was I using in 2020? I was using a Samsung. Anyway, I'll have to find that later on. I don't know where that's at. So maybe I can find it this way. Wyoming. Do a search. Wyoming team images. Okay. Oh, yeah, here we go. There's some cool pictures. Make sure there's nothing embarrassing myself here. Okay, this is what we're doing out there. Yeah, here we go. So, okay. So here you go. Some pics, some of the team there as we went out in the Green River Range. These are all veterans except the guy in the middle there with the black jacket in the pockets, hands in his pockets. That guy is an actor from Hollywood, Eric Bello. He's a professional photographer, and he was invited on the trip. Really great guy, Eric Bello. And then the guy next to him, and then orange is one of the guides, and the guy on the right. But the guy on the left is a veteran, and the guy bent over is a veteran. And these are all veterans there. Oh, that guy was awesome, Eric. He was really cool. He lives in Wyoming. Hey, look at that guy. That's when we started on the trail. We wound up going. There had been a big windstorm, knocked all the trees over. We can only go about 3 kilometers into the bush. We had to turn and come back and go to different areas. See, look at the trees knocked over. The path became impassable. There were hundreds of trees blown over in this massive storm. So we started like 10,000 feet. Came up the trail. It's absolutely covered in brush. So we're walking a lot further than we was planning for. Saw the meadow here for about 5 minutes. Nice view. Refugee National Forest. So that's in the Bridger National Forest. People seeing stop. And this is the spot where we finally decided the guides went ahead and they scouted the route and they're like, there's no way we're going to get to where we need to go in time because there's too much deadfall. Trees are blown over. So we stopped, got something to eat while they scouted ahead, and then we headed back to the vehicles and went to a different part. And that's the part you saw. And actually it was better. It was much nicer where we wound up at. That's the organizer of the trip. He was taking a nap. You can see what the wind did. Look at that. That was a freshly blown over tree. We had to go around stuff like that. It was crazy. Finding paths through the forest. You see, this was the trail. That's the trail. We're trying to walk on that. It was insane. And if that had been the trail, it would have been okay. But that wasn't the trail. Just an outcropping. The Bridger Wilderness, that's when we came back. I took pictures of it. You see where the map was. That's one of the reservoirs out there. That's the Wyoming. Look at that. That's Wyoming countryside. It's absolutely gorgeous. Looks like the Free State, doesn't it? Just stunning stuff. I love Wyoming. And not many people live there. Look at that. There's Eric Bello. What a great guy. I've interviewed him on my channel before. He's appeared in a lot of shows. That was the first bivouac site we had when we went to the second area. You can see Flat Top Mountain down there in the distance on the left-hand side, just below the edge of that pine tree. Getting some breakfast in the morning. It was cold. It was September, and we already had snow. You can see a pup tent there at the bottom of the screen. There you go. Tents, that's what we stayed in those. That's the actual map of where we were. the Green River, and they call it Square Top Mountain. I said Flat Top. It's Square Top Mountain. Yep. That's where he hiked. And then you see the trails we walked along there. Just stunning stuff. That's along the trail. I turned. There's Eric right behind me there. And I'm looking behind me at all the people there. I look kind of haggard there, don't I? Well, Yolanda, there's flat plains of Wyoming. There's mountains, different mountain ranges. So it depends where you're at. And there's where we're catching salmon out of that right there. That's where I was standing when I took the images of the moose who was off the left-hand side of that bridge that morning. So when we first arrived, people were looking at all the salmon in the water. There were tons of salmon in that water. There you go. You can see some of them on the screen. They're hard to see. They're orange. There you might be able to see them swimming around the water. I mean, they're literally everywhere. You could dip in and grab one. That was a campsite, religious services. I attended religious services. This is Wyoming Catholic College that hosted this. I don't go to church, but when I'm in the field with the Army or like this, I do attend church services. So about half the veterans attended these services, so I went to the services. What a great place to have a mass, huh? Of course, we had to bear-proof our site and put our food in a place where the bears wouldn't get to it. There you go, some of the tents. That's a good shot there. That's a good shot too. And here I am way up the top. This is where we were cooking at, and down below, where you see those tents, that's where we were staying at down there. It's crazy. And then the creek down there is the one I was down to earlier where that bridge is at. This is an incredible spot. Eric again. Some good shots of Eric there. Guess I'm a fanboy now. He was taking pictures of me too. That one's just, that's a postcard right there. And that's the organizer of the trip. Look at this, tossing in pepperoni for mac and cheese. You saw it here. This isn't lifestyles of rich and famous, my friends. This isn't Robert Leach. Oh no, put onions and peppers in it. Check it out. No, thank you. There's the stars were incredible. You see people going around in the dark there. That's the stuff we put in the bear fence so the bears don't get the food. They smell anything, they rip it out. That's beautiful. That's in the back by Square Top Mountain. That's there's two lakes there. Pretty beautiful. Anyway, I think that's enough of that. We're losing people here, are we? Are we losing people? Okay, so yeah, pretty cool, huh? You guys like that? Yep. Anyway, yeah. So nature's beautiful there. Yeah, it's all over. It's got beautiful stuff like there in Pennsylvania too. If you want to go touring Finland for a week or so, let me know. Take you to some very cool lakes. I do, Lori, and that's my intent. I'm thinking of coming when there aren't too many mosquitoes and it isn't too cold. I'm thinking, late August to September might be a good time to come. But yeah, I definitely want to get back to Finland. I haven't been to Finland since 2013. I think it was 2013 is the last time I was there. And I was in not Finland proper. I was at the Åland Islands off the west coast of Finland, which I love. I could live there. That's a place I could live. Remind me of Captain Haddock in the 1010 series. Okay. Keep in mind the U.S. is something for everyone. It can be hard to adjust to a new place, but most Americans are helpful. Yep. Good morning, Hot Full Bikers. I don't need brandy. We have Jack Daniels and Coke. Anyway, welcome everybody. Okay, Thank you, Lori. No, it's my intent. Folks, do your research. There's so many informational videos. That's right, Light Rain. Every state has a tourism office. Every major town and the national parks have tourism. You can find out so much about America free without paying people for tons of money. And Carl can't remember we saw last such clean water. Well, it won't be the Vol River. I'll tell you that much. Good God. That's a sewage pit, unfortunately. Very beautiful. Yep. Tinnis says, good morning. What did Johan ask? Oh. Well, Arctic says not his first choice because Arctic's extent of Pennsylvania is probably Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, and Philadelphia. That's not Pennsylvania. That's not Pennsylvania. Dude, I go skiing 10 minutes from my house, 15 minutes because I take my time on the roads. 15 minutes from here is a ski resort right here. I can be 2 hours in D.C. I can be 30 minutes in Gettysburg, the National Battlefield Site. An hour to Antietam National Battlefield Site in Maryland, hour and 45 minutes to Baltimore, Chesapeake Bay, 2 hours to Annapolis. I mean, it's all here. It's all going on. And outdoors, you got hunting here, pheasant, turkey, boar, bear. Well, we don't have bear here, but we got bear, but deer, all kinds of stuff. We've got elk reintroduced in Pennsylvania. They were hunted out, but they've been reintroduced, and they're thriving quite well. Pennsylvania basically is like a big rectangle, okay? So it's a rectangle like this, essentially. And in the rectangle, you've got on the east side, on the sliver, down in the bottom corner, this megapolis of Philadelphia with all the jams and traffics and liberals and lunatics and murders and rapes and over there. Then on the west side, you've got Pittsburgh over here, and it's the same sort of thing. It's just a bit nicer than Philadelphia. And then in the middle, pretty much, it's all nature and wild. So you've got about 14 million people living in Pennsylvania, and in the two eastern and western slices, which is only about 25-30% of the territory, you've got 10.4 million people. And in the rest of the state, the other 30-70% of the state, you've got less than 4 million people. Yeah, it's crazy. Having breakfast with some people who will introduce to Colonel Chris channel, was approaching the supply info more as the media was driving them crazy, so I try to share the good word. I'm not really sure what supply. Oh, you approach the supply more info. Okay. Well, tell them to come in here, Fred, and watch my videos. Please. It should be obligatory for anybody who has any interest in knowing about either coming or just wanting to know about it to inform people properly, to watch my 14 frequently asked questions. I made that video on purpose. By the way, I made that because that was Arctic's suggestion, so got to give credit where it's due. So yeah, how high up north do you have to be to see the Aurora Borealis? Well, you rarely see it here, Marius, although it was available a couple weeks ago because of the intensity of the solar storms coming. The Aurora Borealis, you're going to have to be usually up into Canada and Alaska to see that. You're not going to see it here normally, but on occasions you can. But you get up into Alaska and into Canada, you can see the Aurora Borealis all summer long. Yep, but you can't really see it all winter long. Anyway, yeah, but you can't really see it here. Plus, you've got a lot of light pollution. Keep that in mind. Now, Pennsylvania has a lot of dark spots at night. If you look at a light pollution map of the planet at night, you'll see that there's bright in Pennsylvania. But if you zoom in, you'll see that the middle of the state, there's a lot of spots where it's plenty dark, so you can have good night viewing. Want to join my daughter in North Carolina. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Light Rain lives near the mountain of a bottom of a mountain. In my user image, it's covered in glaciers. You can go out and cut blue ice off for drinks. Yep, you can. Yep. Washington State's wonderful. It's wasted on liberals. It's amazing. But there are some drawbacks to Washington State if you like nature. Those frickin' German fire ants they introduced out there. Those little bastards, they can bite like a frickin' barracuda. Good God. Man, I hate those ants out there. They strip the forest clean. They're great for cleaning the forest, but they are terrible on humans. And if you get in their way, you disrupt their path, they will attack. They're nasty little bastards. And then the pollen is, the wicked pollen that's out there in the summertime is really bizarre. And the soil is heavily volcanic in a lot of places. So if you sit down in the soil, it's really dirty, it stains. But it's a beautiful place, wonderful. Especially, I really like Washington west in the Cascades. On the Olympic Peninsula and places like that. It's just gorgeous. The capital is nice, Olympia. At least it was last time I was out there. But Seattle is just a traffic nightmare. Once all of us are there, should go spend some time in nature. Okay, well, you're assuming you're coming here, okay? Excuse me. And Arctic says he's not going to camp with you guys. Yeah, I don't go camping. That was to help veterans adjust to life after uniform. It was kind of a bonding event. So, I don't care is back. Hello, I don't care. Okay. Jason Paul. Charmaine, 300 people so-called signal saying they don't want to leave. All 300 names are Zulu names. That's funny. How high up? Well, I've got a story for that. I'm going to talk about here in just a few moments about people and what the toilet paper record is sharing. There we go. Back to where I was a minute ago. Alice McGee, what about some Midwest states, underrated ones like Kansas? Alice, again, America is what you're looking for. I've lived in Iowa. That's as Midwest as it gets. And, you know, it was fine when I lived there, but I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life there. I enjoyed it, but it's not a place I would want to be. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just boring. It's flat. I like hills and outdoors. Rudy says, I heard somewhere that Simonstown is of huge strategic importance for the West and East. You're an expert. I can't just believe anyone so asking. All right, Rudy. Well, someone intimated me that in the business interview, that's what Joel Pollack said. Simonstown is a critical interest, strategic importance. Well, let me ask you this question. If people think Simontown is of critical importance, please tell me how it's been of critical importance since the ANC has been in charge of South Africa. Does the ANC have a blue water fleet that patrols the Cape of Good Hope to keep the sea lanes open? No. Does the ANC provide critical naval services and refitting and refueling from the Simonstown Naval Base for international shipping? No. Is the Cape Town commercial harbor adequate or suitable for mass container shipping? No, it's one of the lowest rated ports in the world. So how in the world can somebody make the claim that Simontown Naval Base is strategically important? Now, I don't know that Joel Pollack said that. I didn't have time to watch the entire 50-minute interview, but it was mentioned in there and someone told me that that's where they heard it. If Joel Pollack said that, I would question that argument. We are perfectly fine without Simonstown Naval Base. We haven't been using it. Now, if we could acquire Simonstown Naval Base, we could make it a strategic point and make it a value because we would equip it, we would use it, and we would keep it operational. Yeah, but obviously we're not going to acquire Simonstown. So I don't know what that argument is. To me, it's of no strategic value under the ANC. Its value has been tarnished and diminished. Under the National Party, it did play a role because the National Party's military, the South African Navy, actually patrolled the sea and with their diesel submarines, their Daphne submarines, and also with their surface ships. And, you know, they had some control. But it's only important if the Suez Canal goes down. That's the only time it matters. So, Rudy, that's my answer on that. And not to contradict Joel Pollack, who's everybody's shiny penny and favorite toy of the moment. And I don't know that he said it. I just know that it's being attributed to him. And I'm telling you that my argument is, if you're going to tell me strategic importance, tell me how it's been of strategic importance under the ANC. See, these are the questions they're never asked. If Simonstown is so important strategically, how has it been important for anybody since the ANC took over? It hasn't. No one notices. Notice the international shipping goes right on by the Cape of Good Hope. Nobody lands at Durban if they can avoid it. Nobody lands at PE. Nobody lands at Cape Town if they can avoid it. Fred, it depends what you want. Okay. Give me a heads up well in time so I make sure that it's half time. Okay, Lori, no problem with that. Izzy Forever Lace in Chrome. Thank you for adding me to the refugee group. You're welcome. Be careful, national parks through, what's that? I know what you done. Missing 411, what's that? Never left South Africa before, also didn't fly yet, but always wanted to go to America. Tinnis, yep, that's not an uncommon experience for many people in South Africa. No poop? What is that? No poop in the river? No, you don't poop in the river. Okay. Johan, between Maine and New Hampshire. Me? Actually, I love Maine. Yeah, I love Maine, but New Hampshire is a little better populated, so, you know. But the taxes it's just a bit out of control up there, especially in Maine. Alice would like to visit South Africa someday. Well, you should, Alice. It's an amazing place. Wilmington where? Well, there's Wilmington, North Carolina, Wilmington, Delaware. I don't like either one. Wilmington, North Carolina is like Hades in the summertime. Ooh, it's so hot and humid. It's miserable. And then Wilmington, Delaware. No, thanks. It's right on I-95. Terrible spot. My brother's retired veteran, started at Fort Campbell, ended his service at Fort Hood. Okay, Stephanie, thanks for sharing that. Rebecca Fundevault, when you have a gap, could you perhaps let us know which areas would be equivalents in terms of climate? I've done that over and over, Rebecca. What do you mean when I have a gap? You want me to answer the question now? I've done that dozens of times. I'll do it again here. If you want to be hot, miserable, and humid, and have smelly beaches like you have on the east coast of South Africa, then go to Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. You can find all that, and even the coast of Texas, miserably hot and humid. If you want a Mediterranean climate, then go to Southern California, all the way up to about San Francisco. That's where it's about as much Mediterranean as it gets. If you want the high veld, something like that, go to high desert chaparral. You want to go to New Mexico. Parts of Texas, Arizona, and Utah are going to resemble that in Nevada. Look just like South Africa. If you want the mountains like the Drakensberg, you're going to go to the Colorado, to the Rockies. You're going to go to the Northeast, parts of the Appalachians, and you'll find that. So it just depends what you want. Depends on what you want. Stay away from the Tech Triangle in North Carolina. North Tech Triangle from that's Raleigh, Durham, and Charlotte. That's an insane traffic area, research universities, and heavily filled with all kinds of illegal aliens. So, Geopolitical has ties to Simonstown. That is where it ends. Okay, he did say they could enlarge the harbor for their ends. I agree. It is potential. Yeah, yep, Charles. So okay, see, I don't know that. See, I don't have ties. I didn't come from South Africa. I have no dog in the fight. If you appoint me as the ambassador to South Africa, I'm not speaking ill of Geopolitical. I'm just saying that I'm agnostic about it. I'm just honest about it from a strategic standpoint. Simonstown has no value whatsoever in its current form. None. Not even the South African Navy. They don't even use it. Apparently, it's only useful for Russian cargo ships that are sanctioned to come in, offload, or load non-weapons in the dark of night. Tech Triangle, Raleigh, Durham, and Charlotte, North Carolina. It's 3 cities like this, so it's a triangle. Boom, boom, boom. So they make a triangle. I know someone at the Simonstown Naval Base, everything is broken. Yes, I'm aware of that. Been there. Thank you. But thank you for sharing. That is a mess. If Geopolitics confirms as ambassador, I think he'll stop the refugee problem. You think he'll stop the refugee program, says Pablo Charlie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that he's even been nominated. I haven't seen a nomination go forward for South Africa yet. So, but Rob Hersoff thinks he'd make a great ambassador. Probably would be a great ambassador. I think I'd make a better one. People are charmed by Harvard degrees. Harvard's a woke school. You can get a quality education there, but only if you keep your mouth shut. Okay. And he works at Breitbart, which, Andrew Breitbart saw a lot of this before most people did. I saw it, but I was intelligence officer and I really couldn't say anything because that's inappropriate. But Andrew Breitbart was in the right place, right time. I still wonder what happened to him. Are the ANC able to provide maritime search and rescue for the ocean for the South Pole? Nope. That's right. And ANC's responsible all the way to the South Pole. They don't provide it. That's the thing. So, see, Simonstown can't even be used for search and rescue. It can't cover that region. Yep. Roxanne Bennett, thanks, Arctic. That's true. I'm worried that Trump will not go through with it because all the Afrikaners saying no thanks. Okay, stop. Donald Trump doesn't care what Afrikaners say. Donald Trump's not an idiot. Donald Trump knows that Americans love him, but 75 million votes showed up for Kamala Harris. So while America loves Donald Trump, clearly a lot of people didn't vote for him. Do you think he's listening to people who didn't vote for him? Do you think he's going to listen to naysayers and the fake stream media in South Africa? No. Don't worry about that. I mean, come on. Give the guy more credit than that. I'm not saying they won't be canceled. I'm just saying that's not why. And even if he used an excuse, that's not the real reason why. Durham area, North Carolina, but if you're in tech, medical field, well, it's not the place to move, Alice. It's a place to move. Another place to move is Massachusetts. Another place is the D.C. Beltway in Maryland and Northern Virginia, where all these tech companies are also at. And the third place is Silicon Valley or Utah. Those are all tech center, and Austin. So you got Silicon Valley, Utah, Austin, Texas, North Carolina Research Triangle, Massachusetts, and Virginia. These are all tech hubs in America. Yep. That's what Pollock said. The U.S. is concerned of China taking over Simonstown because South Africa can't pay back their loans. Okay, Cheryl. So, all right. So what does that mean? China has a naval base in Djibouti. We have a ground base, an air base there. Does that affect our operations? Nope. So, look, these are things that people who are supposed to be erudite tell you to frighten you. Okay, let's play this out. Okay, let's just go with it, okay? So China has a naval base in Simonstown. So what? What does that mean? Is China going to be able to project power from Simonstown to interdict the global sea lanes? And if they were to do such, do you think the rest of the world wouldn't respond? I mean, what's the value of that? China already has a naval base in Africa. It's in Djibouti. I don't care. Give China to Simonstown. They can maintain it. I don't care. Unless they start interdicting global shipping, I don't lose any sleep. It's their Belt and Road Initiative. I don't care. If people are stupid enough to borrow money from the Chinese to improve and build infrastructure so the Chinese can ship raw materials out of your country and send you finished products at a trade surplus for them and a deficit for you, and you pay the loans back for infrastructure that they use, well, you're the dumbasses, the people that do that. And that's what's happened to the stands. They have borrowed money to the tune of billions of dollars from the Chinese to build roads, airports, and things and rails that connect them to China so that China can extract minerals and ship their goods back to those countries with a trade surplus. And then they pay the debt back, not the Chinese. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. We should have come up with it. It's the Suspender and Sustender project from America. We're building global infrastructure, but you borrow the money. We'll build it with our companies. We'll use it, and we'll have a trade surplus with you. What a brilliant plan. Let China have it. I don't care. Unless they try to interdict global sea lanes, it doesn't matter. And then we'll just use Diego Garcia. Or we'll sign a deal with Mauritius. Pretty easy peasy. Janice's father was in the naval base, okay? So there you go. Okay. One of them said is cold. Can't recall during any of the live streams if you discussed sustainable hunting for the pot. No, I haven't, Marius. That's a new question. What do you want me to say about sustainable hunting? I'm a conservationist. Obviously, I would believe in that. You have to be good stewards of the environment and take care of things. Replenish the soil, replenish the land, let it lay fallow when it's necessary. Don't overuse pesticides and fertilizer, and have corridors for wildlife. And don't overfish, don't overhunt. Alice is asking a question. If you speak Afrikaans, you can understand Dutch. Yes, most Afrikaners do understand Dutch, but not the inverse. A lot of Dutch can't understand Afrikaans. Those lights in the aurora borealis come down south not too long ago, but we get meteor showers. Yeah, well, it was just here a couple weeks ago, Drunken Yoda, but it's not the norm. Whereas in Alaska, you can see it almost every night in the wintertime. Della's where the hidden old age home is. Is that where Joe Biden's at? I thought he went out to Marin in California. Which venison? Nothing is like kudu, Mickey. Nothing is like kudu. I've eaten kudu. Nothing is like that. Not really a thing unless you own your own land. Hunting works very differently in the South. Well, you don't have to own your own land, Arctic, if you're in Pennsylvania. See, I'm going to give you an update here. I can go 7 minutes from my house and go hunting on state game lands. Pennsylvania is full of state-owned property called the state game lands. Anybody with a hunting license can go there hunt during hunting season for whatever is on the menu. Deer, pheasant, quail, whatever's on the menu. So yeah, state game lands are all over the place here. Everywhere you go, look on a map, you'll find state game lands. Yep. And it's open to the public. They have little park spots, gravel lots at the edge of the forest. You park there. And as long as you got a license, you go out. Game wardens come around occasionally. Most times people never see a game warden. They go out, shoot, and get their deer or whatever they're going after. Yep, no, Pennsylvania is very different like that. Yeah, so that's Pennsylvania, though. So every state's different. You go hunting in New Jersey, the only thing you're hunting there is gangsters, the mob. Isn't Simonstown of strategic importance because of limited options moving naval assets from east to west? What limited options, Arnie? What's the limited option? We have the Suez Canal. As long as the Suez Canal is open, it matters. If the Suez Canal is closed down like it was briefly for a few weeks, a couple years ago, what happens then? Traffic gets rerouted on the Cape of Good Hope. Okay? So why is it of strategic importance? Is there a toll booth? I'm not being a smartass. Is there a toll booth? Is there someone patrolling that will stop you? Are there pirates there operating? No, the pirates are off the east coast of Africa. So how is it strategically important? It's just a waterway. Claiming that the Cape of Good Hope sea lanes are strategically important is akin to saying that, well, the sea passage between Cape Verde and Gibraltar is strategically important. Okay, I suppose it is because ships pass through there. But anyway, so again, I don't buy the argument about Simonstown or South Africa. This is, again, people have an over-opinionated or overvalued thoughts of what South Africa is and what it's capable of. Yep. Pollock stated the U.S. government could assist South Africa improve its value. Well, of course, we do it every day. If we took away $500 million, we could make South Africa a lot better. But we can't help South Africa when it has racist laws and expropriates property without compensation. We can't help South. That's a self-defeating prospect. That's one reason why we're not giving any more money. So apparently, Charles watched that Joel Pollak thing. Is there anything I'm saying that you disagree with, where I disagree with Joel Pollak? I'm curious. Because you guys keep asking me to comment on things and no one's responding about what I'm saying. What's this? Please hit the like button. Yeah, please do that. We have 204 likes. We're at this for an hour and a half. You see, the audience is small today, but we are grateful you guys are here. PJ Bota, maybe this question will be dumb, but let me say the government says you need to be there for transportation. You have to have your firearm with you. What must you do? What? It's not a dumb question, PJ, but I don't understand what you're saying. Let's say the government says you need to be there for transportation. Be where for transportation? And you have your firearm with you. What must you do? I don't understand. Are you asking if you can carry a firearm in a vehicle? Yeah. In most states you can. But often the firearm must be in a locked container in the boot or something like that without ammunition in it. Every state has different rules. I don't understand your question. I'm trying to answer the best of my ability. Magnus Potgieter, sorry, I've got the alert box off. It didn't come up. So Magnus Potgieter, thank you for your membership. Appreciate it. Yolanda, a lot of us feel stuck in limbo, eagerly waiting to go ahead. I understand, Yolanda. And a lot of people aren't going to take it up. There's Chris Hickman. Thank you for membership. And a lot of people aren't going to take up the offer, and that's fine. I'll do a video coming up soon, probably tomorrow if I have time, and I'm going to talk about the likelihood and the numbers and just take a guesstimate of what I think is going to happen. I'll get pillared and accused of things and attacked by the left, attacked by the right, and I really don't give a crap. I'm tired of all the nonsense, so I'm just going to lay it out there for people. I was in Angola when the Chinese built the main railroad there. They used prison people, kept them in concentration camps at night. Yeah, well, and when they built the railroad in Botswana in the 1980s, they sent prison labor, and they kept them in camps, and they had relationships with the Basarwa, the San women, and little girls, and impregnated and left hundreds of mixed-race Chinese Bushmen babies behind and just abandoned them. And then the railroad is shit and fell apart. Yep. Oh, okay. Okay, is that what he's asking, Arctic? He wants to bring his guns? You can't bring your guns to America. Not as a refugee. Pretty much guarantee that's going to be the case. Someone asked that question before. You can bring firearms to America. I mean, service members bring their guns back all the time from overseas. Yep. Yeah, don't crap in the woods. There's a bear in the woods, man. I live here, so simply telling you. I don't know what she said, Drunken Yoda. Everglades, where you hide your mother. No, that's New Jersey in the Meadowlands. You'll be able to understand Dutch and Flemish, but respond to Afrikaans or English. Dated a Flemish lady, and she spoke Flemish, so I can learn it. Yeah, but not everybody does, Marius. That was you. Not everybody can pull it off. That's why I said usually. He's talking about living in venison, not going hunting every once in a while. Living off of venison. Oh, I mean, I don't know people that live off of venison. People eat a lot, but you'd have to shoot a lot of deer. Simonstown. Des says stop with Simonstown. Stop what with Simonstown, Des? What about it? Are your feelings hurt? Or you just don't want to hear the topic anymore? You have to pull limits of how much deer, elk can be hunted everywhere. Yep. Exactly. You can't just take whatever you want. President Trump is very intelligent. We're well aware of the situation. I believe that he knows very well if they cancel the order, then ANC is going to come after us. Yep. Same with fishing. You have limits on fishing. That is correct. Marquis Pretorius. Never give firearms to saps. They'll go missing. Yeah. Living off of venison is probably best on Alaska. Yeah, Charles, that's probably in Canada. Husband works in the mining industry, open cast mining, mechanical filters. So if I ask which places have mining industries, there's mining all over America. Arkansas, Wyoming, Colorado, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Missouri, California, Washington State on the eastern side. There's mining everywhere. Depends what you're talking about, what kind of mining. Nevada has a lot of mining. Utah has mining. America is blessed with abundance of pretty much everything, except decent politicians. Fly fish is usually catch and release with barbless hooks, but now and again you have real beauty like salmon can be delicious. Yep. Joel Pollak is more about Big Brother approach, but South Africa has to stop it. It's undermining of U.S. interests. Yep. Well, that's I'm kind of feel the same way. World Bridger. Thank you for helping us, Colonel. You're very welcome. Sorry, this muscle is bothering me again. Man. Have some black guys on X telling me they don't want crackers in the USA. What's a cracker? It's a racist insult to white people. It's what a racist calls a white person a cracker. Her guess, just what I thought. It's like the K word or the N word. Playing around on Google, I see most U.S. grouses fly the American flag outside. What? Houses or grouses? Houses. Yeah, no, Americans are very patriotic. The only other countries I've ever seen that are nearly as patriotic as America are Sweden, where people fly flags all over the place, Botswana, where people are very proud to be a Botswana. And that's pretty much the limit of it. Most countries, people are shamed. They don't put their flag out. The Canadians are really ashamed of their country. They lack overt patriotism. They think it's gauche and rude, many of them, and they're just fools. You should have pride in your country. If you don't have pride in your country, then you don't take care of your country, and you allow it to fall into the leftist hands, which is what's been happening. 500,000 in the next 2 years. What's that, Martin? 500,000 what? He wants to take his firearm on the plane to America. Well, people can come on planes with firearms. You have to have a license and a reason for doing it. Thank you, Daniel Flock. Daniel Flock. Yeah, people can travel with firearms. I traveled from from Croatia back to Italy with a firearm. You have to declare it, and you have to pay a fee sometimes. But as a refugee bringing firearms, I don't think that's going to happen. Guys, okay, look, we don't know what the rules are going to be, but basically you got to assume this is what it's going to be. You can't bring shit. You can't bring any money out. You can't bring anything except your physical body and maybe your pets. You have to assume that. Now, I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I'm telling you that's your expectation. And if you can live with that, then apply. Everything else that you're allowed to do or take is gravy. But don't sit there in Rustenburg or in Clarence or in Asymptote and go, well, I'm going to sign up for this program. I'm immigrating to America. Because you're not immigrating to America. It's not immigration. It's refugee. It's for people being persecuted or fear persecution whose life is in jeopardy for the mere fact of their political association, their religious orientation, their sexual orientation, their ethnicity, their gender, their sexuality. Because of that, we generously facilitate you getting the fuck out of where you're at and coming to America. And then we have a resettlement program, which we, the taxpayer, pay so you can come here. Now, in that context, understand that most people come here fleeing from war. People shooting at them, raping their daughters and wives, or them, slipping across the border from Darfur, getting into Chad, turning themselves into a UN refugee camp and asking for refugee status, and then we get around letting refugees in. They come with nothing but what's on their back. South Africa is a very different situation. So there is no answer to the firearm question. But if you think you're coming to America with your firearms, your head is on the wrong way. I'm not attacking the person that asked that question. Your head is on the wrong way. You don't understand what this is. This isn't, oh, look, all the South Africans are being abused. You know, it isn't exactly what the media are telling you. Because the media are telling us, oh, it's because Trump's a racist. He's letting the whites come there because they're lying about a genocide. No one said anything about genocide. Talking about racial discrimination, victims of racial discrimination, and very specific about what that racial discrimination is in business, in employment, in education. Very specific about it. So this isn't an immigration program. This isn't, oh, you get to pick up and move your stakes. You can't bring your, okay. I don't want to insult people, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've been asked in the past 12 hours, which is in that video. I've been asked if people can bring their livestock here. Without sounding rude or laughing or making fun of people. Seriously? Do you have any idea what we're talking about? We're not saying, well, the United States decided we're going to let all the white people in South Africa immigrate to America. That's not what this is. And actually, that's far worse for you because you get no help, and it takes forever to get here. A refugee can go much faster, and you get help and assistance, resettlement, and job location, and place. You get all that. It's all at the taxpayer expense. So immigrating here costs you a fortune. You have to go through lawyers. You have to get appointments. You have to do this. You have to prove this, prove that. Yeah, this is not immigration. You know, I need to get that out of your head. Get that out of your head. This is, oh my God, I'm about to be killed, and I'm terrified because I got to get out of here. Can you help me? And the generosity of the warm and generous American people, we foot the bill for you to move. And by the way, no one take this wrong. The 291 people here, we don't owe you anything. We owe you nothing. Why do we owe anybody, any Afrikaner, any Tswana, any Venda, any Zulu? Why do we owe you jack squat in South Africa? We owe you nothing other than we're from the brotherhood of humanity. That's it. Our fellow man. We owe nothing. We're Americans. We're American citizens. Our loyalty and our fealty is to our Constitution. Well, at least those of us who believe in this country. We owe nothing to the world. We're generous. That's why we do this. And generosity doesn't mean, hey, we're going to let you come in the country and you can bring your sheep and you can bring your, leave that sheep alone. Hey, leave that sheep alone. You can bring your guns and your money. No. That's not how it works. Jan Frondriel, thank you for becoming a member. That isn't how it works, folks. Usually people are destitute, shirt on their back, no money. But South Africa is a different situation. So we don't know how it's going to play out. I've explained in my 14 questions what I think will be the case. And anyway, so again, nobody take offense or feel offended. I'm giving emphasis to my responses here. And actually, I'm grateful that people are asking these questions, even if they've been asked 100 times, because not everybody's here. And you see that I try to avoid talking about this refugee thing. That's not what we talked about for the first hour and a half, first hour and 20 minutes. But here we are again. I tried to go to Wyoming. Pennsylvania has estimated 1.5 million deer, 30 deer per square mile. Is that math right? A lot of deer. But that number does this, folks. It does this. 1 year it's doom. Next year it's like this. Feast and famine. The deer population crashes and it comes back. There are deer everywhere. I mean, I've been alert and I've avoided hitting deer at least 6 times in the past few weeks. And this is the time of year when they're not moving. They're usually bedding down or eating or staying. They're not moving around a lot. They move around when they rut, when the bucks are trying to get a little bumping nasties. The does try to get away from them when they're in heat, and then they cross the roads and hit cars. It's carnage. That happens October, November. It's a terrible time to be on the roads in Pennsylvania. And then it happens again in the spring. But this time of year, you don't usually see the deer. But I can tell you there's probably an explosion of the deer population. The other day, I was going out to a township meeting for a zoning meeting because they want to build a church nearby, and I wanted to hear what their testimony was going to be. So I was out there, and it was last week. And on the way, I was going 25 miles an hour in a 35-mile zone. And I looked ahead and I saw a deer jump out of the road in front of me and trot across the other side. So I put my 4-ways on, my indicators, hit the flashers to warn traffic behind me and oncoming, in case they didn't see it, especially behind me. I slowed the car down and almost to a complete stop because there was nobody behind me. I cleared behind me. And as I approached, I saw about 18 more deer on the edge of the woods to my right, looking to come out. So I crept past them. And then I went forward, and then I started to hit my high beams to warn the traffic coming at me, and my 4-way flashers. I turned them off, turn them on, turn them off, turn them on. So deer, lots of them. The people can't find their tanks responsible for search and rescue on the South Pole. Yeah, exactly. I share and stop fake news by posting factual news against them, like the Colonel's channel, and the lights come on. Well, Marius, I hope they come here and find me. It'd be nice to keep growing the channel. CR said in 93, we got to turn up the heat slowly. Yeah, I know, the frog in the pot. My brother-in-law got into a bad accident the first time driving Canada. Those ice roads are dangerous if you don't. Yeah. Well, the problem is that people that don't have experience driving ice, when they go into an ice slide, they turn the wheel the wrong way. You have to turn your wheels into the slide. It's counterintuitive. If you start going this way, that's the way you turn the wheels. Because if you turn this way, all you're going to do is spin around. You just spin around completely because you lose friction and it takes the car the direction of the spin. So you have to turn the wheels the opposite way, which fights against it, and it kind of keeps the car. Yep. And you also have to let off the gas, and hopefully you have a standard transmission so you can downshift and use the torque of the engine to slow you down because an automatic transmission doesn't react fast enough. Yep. You have ABS, anti-lock braking system, but ABS is good to keep you from sliding when you're going forward. Doesn't help you when you're in a spin. Grateful for the kindness the American people are showing us. Also extremely thankful. You're very welcome, Catherine Bernard. It would be a nightmare quarantining an ark of different animals. Exactly. Ruvani says, what's happening? Oh, I don't know what's happening. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets in Springfield. Going to say this again. Leave your entitlement home. Thank you, Arctic. You said it well. Clean your own shit and come ready to work, remembering you are a guest, or stay home. That's well stated. And that's not a rude statement. Arctic is just trying to give you a heads up. Not leaving pets, they're not things. Well, Mickey, then if they say you can't bring pets, then I guess you won't come. But I suspect you'll be allowed to bring pets. But there'll be limits. Pythons won't be welcome. Toads won't be welcome. Dogs and cats probably. Told my daughter we should start packing a run bag. I know I sound paranoid. No, Ilza Hugo, as an Army veteran, as a person who's lived in country after country where coups have taken place in Africa, a go bag is something that everyone should always have. A go bag should always have a place where it's secure, but a little bit of cash, and if it's not in the bag, but in a safe, whatever you need, documents, those things should stay in a safe, but ready to go. But the go bag should have, essentials like toothpaste, toothbrushes, ones that are unused, deodorant, underwear, socks, some changes of clothing, if you're in inclement weather, stuff like rain jackets, stuff like that. And then, you can stick in there food that's vacuum sealed, just a little bit of stuff like biltong or something like that, just a little bit of nourishment. And your go bag is a place where if the balloon goes up, literally, you grab the bag, you grab the essentials, and you take off. Everyone should have a go bag. I have a go bag. I've had a go bag for years. Yep, it just takes a few minutes to put one together. Nearest place from Cape Town to get a passport is 3 hours drive away. All the slots are full. Exactly. Isn't that brilliant when you have an incompetent bureaucracy? I don't go to get a passport. In America, you don't visit an office for a passport. It's all done online, and it's all handled by contractors. The State Department doesn't issue passports, tourist passports. They do issue passports, but those are diplomatic and official passports. I'm just looking to see where my passport's at because I got a new one last year. It was a nightmare. 2 doggies, and I had to say goodbye to the third one, old age. Okay. Yeah, summer, winter. Yeah, look, if you're curious about go bags, watch prepper stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of prepper stuff on YouTube. Arctic is talking about a weapon. Permanently raised flags are primarily raised on buildings, federal and local government entities, but private businesses do it by themselves, not because they have to. Yes, and if you raise a flag, if your flag stays up after dark, it must be illuminated. So if someone's flying a flag in America, a U.S. flag, and it's after dark, thank you, JP Lombard. Boy, not many people subscribing today, but thank you, JP. If you fly a flag in America and it's after dark and there's no light on it, you have broken flag code, which is a legal requirement. You're not supposed to do that. No one's going to punish you for it, but it's bad flag etiquette. And the flags have to be flown in a certain manner. And when they're torn and tattered, you must remove them and replace them. And that's a problem because we have to replace the flags that are VFW because they're on a huge pole about 30 meters tall. We have to replace them. They catch the wind and they get torn badly in the wind. We have to replace them 3 or 4 times a year at a cost of about $300 a flag. It costs us a lot of money. 2 bottles of whiskey and $100 note. There you go. That's all you need. Hookers and blow. Sister's lawyer, she mirrored Chris, immediately told me to get a passport when I brought up all this drama. She doesn't matter if Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're refugee or not. You should always, look, it's the 21st century, Ludwig. You need to have a passport. Your children should have passports. No matter where you live in the world. You have a passport. And when it comes time to renew it, you need to make sure it's renewed. Always. Always. Homestead rescue to see challenges people face in small holdings. There's thousands of prepper channels. Is Shawnee still here? She can tell you some of that. I think she's a prepper. I have to leave behind my poor python. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Strangles. I just hope the people that will go to the humble appreciate this opportunity. We don't need the inconsiderate brandy brigade here. Yeah, that's true. We don't. But most people come to America, except for illegal aliens, actually, and even a lot of them want to contribute, but they just came the wrong way. Step, I'm not going to flee for some cold ass place. Cuba. You can have Cuba. My situation also that I have a can pack pretty quick and only have a car to sell, but wait before more information. Yeah. So that's why I made the video earlier, because I'm getting contacts from people in Europe who are Afrikaners who say that they're selling their assets and they're going to come to the refugee program. Well, that's bad advice. I'm telling you not to do that, and don't listen to the charlatans out there. That's why I made today's video. I hope a lot of people watch it. I really do hope a lot of people watch it, because there are a lot of fly-by-night flim-flam artists out there right now on Twitter and on YouTube putting out content telling people things that are untrue. I've shared with you everything the U.S. government has released and analyzed it and told you the potentialities of it, and that's the truth. People don't have to listen to me, but if you go out and make a decision and do something and there is no refugee program, or it's only open to 10,000 people, or you don't qualify, or you can't bring your firearms, or you can't bring your livestock, and now you have nothing because you sold anything, that is on you. You made that uninformed decision. You made a decision, an emotional decision, without using your rational brain, and that is on you. And if you're angry at America for that, you have no one to blame but yourself. And I'm telling people that now. Cease and desist. Cease and desist. Wait until people know what's going on. And quite frankly, almost nobody will leave. I mean, when you put this in perspective, the Great Trek wasn't even the majority of Afrikaners and truck boers. The truck boers weren't even a majority. It was just a few tens of thousands who left the Western Cape and Eastern Cape and went north. Most of them stayed behind. Most stayed behind. And that was the Great Trek, which led to the settling of the interior of South Africa by the Trek Boers. So, and their descendants are there today. So even if 100,000 or 500,000 people were to come to America, that's still going to leave 2.3 million Afrikaners in South Africa. And they're going to persist. Afrikaners are stubborn cusses. They're not going to let their culture die in South Africa. It does die in New Zealand, Canada, UK, America, but it won't die in South Africa. Most Americans don't get their sarcasm. Arctic thinks he taught me. No, it took me 2 years to just ignore him. He's. I tell you, people that drink too much don't get it. You know. Sell your mother, I'll keep the rest. They already won the lottery to go to Europe, Australia. Exactly, Ravani, but they're not happy with it. Everybody wants to come to America. So. I'm a qualified fitter and tuner helicopter engine specialist and don't get to work, so I get the chance. I work 12. Well, PJ, I got you, man. I got you. I mean, the fact you can't work just says volumes about South Africa. You got unqualified people probably fulfilling the role that you can't fill. TC Gaming, I've been looking for a way for years to leave South Africa. This is a golden opportunity. Yes, it is the golden ticket. You're like, Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, man. But remember what happened in the chocolate factory. People who are ungrateful, oh, look at the chocolate, ate all the chocolate, little fat boy, and got swallowed up. Remember all the people misbehaved in Willy Wonka, the chocolate factory? You win the golden ticket, but you have to be respectful and respect the tickets that you won. Yep. Timmy, how are you? I'm okay. People seem to think that I'm not well. I'm not getting enough sleep. I appreciate the concern, but I'm also getting a few people who are, basically talking to me and not here, but talking down to me like you need to get some rest. No, I'm fine. I know my limits and I haven't exceeded them. I was tired last night because I was unable to get sleep because something happened last night which I can't share, and it took my attention. I got involved with that for a bit, and next thing I know, I lost an hour and a half dealing with that. Something of great importance in South Africa, which I can't share at this point. If it comes to fruition, I'll be able to share it with you later on. But that ate up an hour and a half of my time from about 4 to 4:30 in the morning. PJ Botha says, are you married? Yes, PJ. I have 16 wives in a dozen countries in Africa, and I have 43 children. Hence the reason why I need Lobola. I've got no Lobola tonight, no super chats. Can you believe that? I need Lobola so that I can, I need the super chats so I can pay the Lobola. Yeah. So, So I need the super chats. Please send it. I have single-handedly, on my own effort, radically increased the colored population of Africa. Keep it in your pants, Elon. Keep it in your pants. Trump just saved everyone $10,000. Exactly. Hey, Arctic, thank you for the super chat there, Elise. Yeah, thank you, Arctic. Put that in perspective. So Trump just saved you 200,000 Rand in fees to come to America, and maybe even a free flight and all the other stuff, plus stipends. I mean, this is a gift of a lifetime for people who are qualified and want to come here. And I'm not encouraging any of you to come here because I have to pay for it. Two white tribes in South, that Boer tribe and Afrikaner tribe. No, Cornell Smith, that's a fake information. Thank you, DJ Jonanu. That's untrue. There are Afrikaners, there are Boers, there are Portuguese, there are Germans, there are English in South Africa. Those are all different tribes. Yep. So you went from retiring the army to raising a small army. Donald Trump, Privacy. In your experience, what would a situation look like in work when refugee status is given? Asked and answered, but I'll answer it again. I think there will be masses being evacuated. They will go through customs or just go. Okay. You're making supposition. Evacuated? What? Are you going? Is there going to be flames and fire? Or are we going to be flying, C-17s under anti-aircraft fire into Langebaan, into Waterkloof? What are you getting at there? I don't understand that. If you're a refugee, you're expected to work when you arrive here. You're given permission to work, and you're expected to get off your bum and work and contribute to pay back to society. That's the expectation. My passport was stolen. Yeah, that sucks. French-speaking Congolese use it now, according to intelligence. It happened in Cape Town waterfront. Temporary passport. I'm guessing, I don't care, that you must have dark skin pigmentation. Otherwise, they're pretty clever to be using your passport if they're from Congo. Sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh, Steelhammer, you've clearly new to the channel, have not paid attention or listened or watched any of my videos, have you? Again, the 14 questions. Okay. All right, let me find that real quick. Top 14 Afrikaner frequently asked questions. Asked and answered all these questions. So over and over again. There you go. Paste. And I ask that you share that with everybody on your phone or WhatsApp, wherever you are using the internet. Share that because that answers a lot of these questions. Okay, to answer the question specifically so you don't have to run off and watch that video right now. Where'd it go? Where's the question at? Steelhammer. Where'd it go? I was just looking at this Steelhammer guy. What the hell? Where'd it go? Ah. YouTube, why you do this to me? I don't see it. I forgot your question, Steelhammer, already. Sorry. Where the hell's it at? Okay, I was here already. I thought I was caught up. It must be around here somewhere. Passport stolen was right past that. I don't see it. How did I miss? Did it just? Oh, there it is. Will only be farmers. No. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot the question. It's been at this for a while. No. Where do you get farmers? Why do you think it's farmers? Let me ask you this question, Steelhammer. What drove you to the conclusion that it has anything to do with farmers? There's nothing that Donald Trump has said that this is for farmers. Nothing. So this is the problem in South Africa. People spread, not you, Steelhammer, spread wild rumors. You got the so-called experts who know, but these are people that can't be bothered to read modern standard written English. Not you, Steelhammer. I'm talking about the people that share this information. Here is the executive order from President Trump, printed out right there. Doesn't say anything about farmers. Doesn't say anything about farmers. The refugee resettlement program is for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. Are farmers the only Afrikaners victims of unjust racial discrimination? No. No. All minorities are. Yep. Zodorf says, takes a week to get a new passport. Yeah, Zodorf, but that's a presumption that was never stolen, right? Cancel the other one. You're welcome, Steelhammer. You're very welcome. Ranger Jakes, thank you for your effort in terms. Keep us up to know. I'm white, but my name and surname is French background. Well, how can a black dude be using it then? It doesn't make any sense. Are they not looking at the passport? I'm not questioning whether you're telling me the truth. I'm just saying what kind of border agents are looking at a passport and Francois? It doesn't look like Francois. Speak some French for me. Well, the Congolese could speak French. Can minorities work on visas outside of South Africa, apply for refugee status? No. No, no, no. Not according to law. But again, anything can happen. I mean, the law that's applicable is Section 101, Alpha 42 of the Immigration Nationality Act, the INA. That's what applies here. And a refugee cannot apply for refugee status when you're not persecuted. If you're in Ireland working on a visa, or in France or Italy, you can't apply to be a refugee in America. You're not being persecuted. Unless you think being forced to eat Italian food is persecution. So no, you can't. According to law. But who knows what the policy will be. But I would doubt it. Kobus says, I don't think South Africans will be ungrateful in the USA. Well, Kobus, I know a lot of South Africans. Some of them are very ungrateful. Just like some Americans. Put a statue up for me. Thank you, Chris. That's way too kind. You guys have been reading too many bullshit Twitter posts. Exactly. And watching too many bullshit South African content creators that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground and are too lazy to read. I mean, look. Yes, I have experience with consular services. I worked in dozens of embassies. I lived abroad for years working in the Mac community and in the military, and I've worked with the highest levels of government. That's all true. But I have common sense. I can read. I don't have to interpret this. There's no interpretation. The only interpretation here is, what the frick are Afrikaners? What are Afrikaners? I know what they are to me. You know what they are to you. But the U.S. government makes a legal determination what an Afrikaner is. That matters. So that's the only thing that has to be determined there. I mean, I don't need to to analyze racial discrimination. Racial discrimination. All right. If your son got a 97 on the matric and applied to UCT and was denied, but someone got a 67 on the matric, and because they're Xhosa, they got in, that's racial discrimination. If you were kicked out of your job or you were forced to sell your equity to someone because of their skin color, that's racial discrimination. That's pretty easy. And fear of racial persecution is pretty easy to prove. Quit following Twitter. Unless you're following my Twitter, go follow my Twitter. Please go follow my Twitter. Where's my Twitter at? Where the hell's my Twitter at? I threw it up here. I guess I didn't put my Twitter up. Son of a gun. Anyway, on Twitter, this is me. There you go. That's my Twitter account. Please follow that. People aren't listening carefully. Exactly. Last night, the Colonel told us how much he spent on groceries for one person, unless he's surviving with a starving wife. I'm guessing there's no wife. Nosy people. Yep. No, well, people weren't necessarily here last night. Why is the alert box not working? What's going on with the alert box? There's nothing there. Huh. It's not working. That's weird. Anyway, thank you for Wesley for the super chat. That's kind. A couple tiny super chats come in this morning. Thank you for that. I appreciate them. Been waiting for 3 weeks for my passport. Ruvani, here in America, I waited almost 7 weeks for my passport. It cost me $3,200, 60,000 Rand for a flight to go to South Africa because I had to book it last minute. Yep. Don't think South, and that was economy. Don't think South be on great. Okay. I think yep. Okay. Now Sloth Puppy's back. Yeah, Charmaine, people don't listen or they just show up for the first time. Debbie's back. Debbie, how's it going? Friends came to renew theirs from China. It took 5 days to receive. The process was long on the day. These idiots applying for ID due to green book stolen or done with. Yep. Burst, stupid parents never registered me. I'm a wild man. Ooh, Ludwig, that sucks. They took out the well, then it's not a valid passport. Unless you're saying they replaced the photograph and they've gotten away with it. I could see that. Okay. Have I seen your border? Yeah, I've seen lots of your borders. I've seen your border with Botswana, your border with Zimbabwe, your border with Eswatini, your border with Mozambique, your border with Lesotho, been all of them. What happens if the government refuses to give a passport? Well, if you're a refugee and you can't get papers, in most refugee situations, travel documents can be issued because your life is in jeopardy, in peril. And I can't tell you what's going to happen in South Africa. But you should never be without a passport. The fact that so many South Africans don't have passports is disturbing to me. It shows me that you're not prepared for life in the 21st century. South Africans have not prepared for the fourth industrial revolution. That's unfortunate. Let me rephrase. There are 2 white tribes in South that speak Afrikaans. Aha! I'll buy that one, Cornell. Yep. The Afrikaner wants to run USA. The Boer tribe wants to stay and fight. Well, I'll bet you dollars to donuts that some Boers will leave too. There are false rumors inside South Africa, and now there are people outside making derogatory and hateful comments about Afrikaners to fuel hate from African Americans. Well, gosh, it will never end. Well, whatever. If your life opinion and your worth is formed by ignorant ass, stupid, racist, bigot, black Americans, I can't help you. My life isn't informed by ignorant ass, stupid, racist, black Americans, but my life is enriched by regular, normal black Americans who are just good people. Bigots and racists on the left and right, black and white, don't matter to me other than call them out for their hypocrisy. Good morning, Peter. How you doing there, man? Well, there is a road named after me in South Africa, Charles, in Durban. Wyatt Road. Actually not named after me. Wyatt Weg is in Durban next to the British Museum down in the Central Business District. Yep, it's the shortest road in Durban as far as I know. Yep, been there many times. Got pictures of me right under the sign where it says Wyatt Road. Steelhammer wants to give us a definition of Afrikaner. A person born in South Africa whose native language is Afrikaans, whose ancestors were from Europe. Nope, that's not the definition of Afrikaner. That's a definition of Afrikaner. There are many definitions of Afrikaner, and your definition and my definition don't matter 2 squats. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what we say, what we believe. Does not matter, Steelhammer. I won't be interviewing you going, so you're an Afrikaner. Where were you born? What's your name? What's your first language? What's your faith? I won't be interviewing you. Someone else will be. They will determine what an Afrikaner is based on guidance issued by the State Department saying an Afrikaner is the following. And it probably won't be Afrikaner, as I said from the very beginning, and the State Department actually modified it to the words I said, ethnic minorities. All right? And when you say it's from Europe, Well, colored people are from Europe. Colored people's ancestors from Europe, Steelhammer. Twitter's a cesspool. Twitter's always been a cesspool. I put false video on my channel just now about fake adverts saying refugees get immediately residence card. That's not true. You don't get a residence card. You have to apply for a green card after 1 year, within the first year. Here's some Lobola. Well, thank you for that. Thank you, Wesley. It's always thank you for. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to need more money than that, or it's going to be a pretty hideous bride that I get. I mean, I won't get the pick of the litter with that not your super chat, but the total for tonight. Told I can't get promoted in my job because of company. And there you go. There you go. That's racial discrimination. Okay. Whoops. That is racial discrimination. Timmy says, currently right on that. Somewhere along the way, a lot of people lost the ability to read with understanding common sense. My grandfather used to say common sense isn't so common. It's true. They should, because there are people who left South Africa to work in other countries because they're discriminated against, but the country does not allow them to stay in retirement. No, they shouldn't, Rhino Girl. I don't care, and the government doesn't care about why you're in Dubai or Vietnam or China. This isn't an immigration program. This is an incredibly generous program. We should do no such thing. The purpose of this program is to prevent a slaughter, to prevent a genocide, to prevent the murder. Oh, boy, he said that word, didn't I? Well, that's going to flip him off. The leftists will love to take that quote. I didn't claim it as genocide. I just said it's a purpose. If people are being genocidally murdered in Darfur, we have a refugee program that helps people get out of there. If those people in Darfur have gone to Italy, there's no need for them to come to America. I don't care what happened to you in Darfur. It's not germane anymore. It's not relevant. If you are in any country outside South Africa, Afrikaner, your status is irrelevant for the refugee program unless they change the law. Thank you for the super chat. Hung Balls reestablished the South African Rand as a territory, South African Republic as the territory of the United States. Well, I actually have that map. This is Trump World 2.0. And you can see the American flag being planted in Canada, Greenland, Gaza, the Canal Zone, South Africa, Antarctica. That's Trump's overseas U.S. territories. Oh, my goodness. All right. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be insensitive, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, Rhino Girl, but no, we're under no obligation. It's not our responsibility. It's not Americans' responsibility to take care of the world. The fact that we do this is unbelievably generous. And I'm not saying anyone owes us fealty or someone should be licking our boots for it. I'm just saying that the program isn't for people who are safe. The program is for people who are unsafe. That's why it exists. If you want to immigrate to America and you're in Ireland, go through the process, pay a lawyer, spend your $10,000, meet all the requirements, come here and get no help and just make it on your own. That's how it works. If I want to move to New Zealand, that's how it works. If I want to move to South Africa, nobody's got a program to integrate me and resettle me there. That's just the way life is, man. So, Rhino Girl, I get what your point, and your point has merit from the victimization standpoint. If you're a victim of that, you would feel like you should be able to go, but you're completely misunderstanding, not you, but a person like that would be completely misunderstanding the purpose of the program. The program is not for people to relocate just because they want to. I've been persecuted, can't find work. I'm not white, and I've been abused because of my Dutch last name. Also cannot go home because my life was threatened. Well, Chosen, in my book, you'd qualify. If I was the guy you came in, I'm guessing you're colored. You don't have to respond to that. I'm guessing you're colored. Colored would qualify. Victim of racial discrimination as a minority in South Africa, you'd qualify for my program. Okay, waiting for a passport 3 weeks now. Okay. Waiting for 2 years for a passport in South Africa. Yep. Daughter and wife got theirs after 6 weeks. Flying back South Africa, customs lady checking passports. About falls off her chair laughing. Looks like a Somalian. Smells like a Somalian. South African passport. Koos van der Merwe is the name. Yep. Cannot apply for refugee status while I am because South Africans are said not to be from a country at war. I don't know where you're at, Chosen. It doesn't matter whether the country is at war. Refugee status isn't tied to war. Look up the applicable United States law. It doesn't say war. It says victims of persecution or fear of persecution. See, this is the problem with social media and bullshit. This is from the federal law. I put it on one page right there. A refugee is Under United States law, and this would be the applicable Immigration and Nationality Act. See, you don't get this from other content creators because they're lazy as fuck. Oh, did I say that late? Oh, man, my fuck Marlies. Sorry. Yeah, by the way, I've interviewed Marlies, in case you're curious, on this channel. I don't just say the phrase. Under U.S. law, a refugee is someone who is located outside the United States, is of special humanitarian concern to the United States, and Donald Trump just declared what that special humanitarian concern is, and Afrikaner subjected to racial discrimination. Afrikaner not being defined as yet. Demonstrates that they were persecuted, in your case you could prove it because you were denied work, or fear persecution due to race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group, and is not firmly resettled in another country. If you're living in Italy, you're not being persecuted in South Africa. Regardless of how you got to Italy and what happened to you before that, that's no longer germane. The clock restarts. If you go back to South Africa and you're persecuted, then you can apply. And a person who's admissible in the United States. You all have to remember, too, that if you're criminals, you ain't coming here. You ain't coming here. we don't take criminals. Pedos, rapists, murderers. No, we're getting rid of those people right now. You should make a link tree for all links. I have a link tree. See how little people pay attention to my channel? Under every video, there's a link tree link. I'm not picking on you, but you're offering suggestions, which are already done. I appreciate that. But let me just go. I'm going to take up the most recent one, view on YouTube. And let me see. Open up the, come on. More link tree. Where's the link tree at down here? There's a link tree right there. Now, some links aren't working, but here you go. So here's my link tree right there. Give me a second here. Where are we at? There's my link tree right there. Some of these aren't working so well. But yeah, I have to update this. There's BitChute. There's my newsletter, All Things Africa, my Podbean. Let's see if that still works. There's Podbean. Yep. There's my YouTube, Chris Wyatt Africa. It opens up there. See, that's what we're on right now. Look at that. Linktree takes you right there right now. See, that's what we're on right now. Look at that. Linktree takes you right there right now. See, look, there you go. My merchandise store. Okay, merch. 43 products. There you go. Don't be sheeple. There you go. There's your mug. Don't be sheeple. So I have Linktree. It's useless. It costs me $80 a year and nobody uses it. And see how useful it is? People are suggesting that I put it on here, which is a great idea, except that it's already there. So you see how useless that thing is? Absolutely useless. Nobody ever finds me because of that. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. But I do it. And I have a Rumble account. I have an Odyssey account. I have a Subscribestar account. And I have a Podbean for podcasts. And I have all this stuff. It just doesn't stick unless you're already famous. They want you to pay for it again. Of course, that's what it's all about. Armageddon, I had a passport but couldn't afford to renew it. Expired 12 years back. Been out of work for 13 years. So yeah, being broke isn't helping. Well, that's true. Ryan liked the photos and videos of Wyoming. You're very welcome. Catherine Bernard, the reason many don't have passports is because they never thought they would be blessed with an American opportunity. Well, Catherine, you should have a passport to go to Botswana or go to Mozambique or go to Lesotho or go to Europe. You should have a passport. I'm not admonishing people. I'm just saying you should have one. If you don't have one now, I'd go get one, regardless of whether America's making an offer for you or not. It's also another form of identification. Someone steals your ID book, then you've got that. Or I live in America and Europe. Yeah, Europeans, Europe has gone to crap. It used to be such a wonderful place. It's because it's been taken over by illegal immigrants in so many places. Steve Young, wow, we got the Mormon church in here now. Trump extended his refugee invitation to all white Afrikaners. No, he did not. He did not extend his invitation to any white people. Where are you getting your bullshit from, Steve Young? Where does it say white people? Where does it say white Afrikaners? Please tell me where it says that. Could somebody show me where it says white Afrikaners? That's bullshit lies being spread by racist propagandists and politicians in South Africa. There's nothing in here that says white anywhere. There's no mention of white anywhere. It says Afrikaners, but there are people who consider themselves Afrikaners who are not white, and it has yet to be defined. There's not a mention of you scan the document, go to whitehouse.gov, check it out. There is no extension to white people at all. It doesn't say white people. People presume things, and they don't understand how things work. So again, not picking on Steve. I'm glad he said that because it once again dispels the myth that's out there. Water. How many illegals sound? About 7 million is my estimate. 6 to 7 million. Did you see an interview with Elon Musk's father? I did not a few hours ago. I was broadcasting a few hours ago. I didn't see it. On Skeppers, remember South African government will tax you on money you want to take out. Yep. And they will only let you take a certain amount out. We're trying at the department to get our passports. They're forever not operating. Yep, yeah, I know. It's a pain. Watch your briberies video. Agree with you. Your point on the mindset of the ANC and most of Africa, the land belongs to the chief. Exactly. That's the problem, whatever. That's the problem. It's a very socialist viewpoint. That's why I asked if I could apply since I'm not South African. I got stuck during COVID and have stayed because I got work and had a baby. Chosen, I can't answer your question. You didn't tell me where you're at. But yeah, if you're not in South Africa and you're a South African citizen, you're not going to be able to apply unless they change the law. The waiting has been going on for a long time. Exactly. Blue Starling. People may have some small percentage European genes, but my experience, they are some of the biggest anti-white racists. It really doesn't matter whether they're anti-white racist, Blue Starling. If they present themselves as a person persecuted and the category authorizes them and they go get interviewed and the background check pans, it doesn't matter if they're racist. They can slip into the country. So it really isn't germane. But I appreciate your point. The propaganda media puts out there is impressive. Too bad they don't put the effort into actual issues. Exactly. Chris has got WhatsApp groups and tons of videos on YouTube with information about this. Yep. All right. Now, when you're a refugee, you're not a refugee. You're a refugee until you apply for a green card within a year after arriving here. Then you get a green card for residence. And then if you decide to become an American citizen, you can apply for that. Refugee programs end, too, when people are sent home when the threat ends. But that's not going to end with the ANC, so don't worry about that. Desmond says, thanks for the facts. You're welcome. Tertius says, looking at videos and articles about where to stay in the States, quite a tough one. Well, you guys can look at where you want to stay in the States. Do you actually think you get a choice in this matter? You don't get to pick where you want to go. You go where the Department of Homeland Security puts you. So you can pick a destination. I want Utah, but it puts you in Florida. You're going to Florida. That's where you go. And unless you've got the resources to move your bum from there to wherever you want to go, that's where you're going to be until you go through that initial period. So guys, that's another thing. This is not immigration. I want to live in Massachusetts. No, it's not. You go where you're put. Be happy you're not put in a tent. Police rip. Who said, what's this police? What's this? Juan Velhamont said, good morning. Chris really opened up people's eyes. Well, I wish more people would find it. Tell more people about it. You see all the questions are coming in here. People are being misinformed. Some people make false assumptions, and I'm being very polite and not attacking their comments because I can tell they're the ones that came up with it. They have no backing on it. But many of these things are things people are hearing. It's nonsense. And you don't have to believe me. Go to the whitehouse.gov. Read it for yourself. Go to the State Department's website. More importantly, go to the U.S. Embassy in South Africa, zaembassy.gov. You'll find it there. Everything I said. Nothing here. No propaganda. No MySpace. I had a MySpace page. I wonder if I still have a MySpace. Is it even still around, that domain? Doesn't look like it is. There it is. Sign in. Let's see if that's my name. I have an account, but it said my password is incorrect, so it had the old password in there. But I still have an account in MySpace. It hasn't closed it. Yep. Yeah, I do have a TikTok, Liesel. But I haven't been doing anything with TikTok since this stuff broken. TikTok is an evil site. I had 300 people follow me forever for years on the account. And then I did a video on Katie Hobbs' election, and I suddenly zoomed. And in a month, I went from 300 to 10,000, then next month to 12,000, and then it stopped. And for 2 years, I've gained no followers. It's BS. I get followers all the time, and they never show up on there. TikTok is evil. But, I mean, it's fun to make things on there occasionally. So let me get my profile here. So it's at Africa Matters. So here you go. 12,700 followers. That's exactly the same number I've had for over 2 years on TikTok. At Africa Matters. At Africa Matters. I don't put much of this stuff on TikTok. It's a lot of effort, and I use TikTok to gain a younger audience, but it's the only reason I use it. Okay, cool. Our police have a backlog of police clearance. Yeah, Rudy, what does that have to do with anything? What does the backlog of police clearance have to do with the price of tea in China? If you're coming here as an immigrant, then we're going to check local police records in South Africa. If you're coming as a refugee, we might check police records, but there's no obligation to do that because you've proven you're persecuted or you fear persecution. Police records will not be germane, most likely. But criminal conviction records, yeah. I mean, I guess that you're trying to quibble about the same. But if we don't find a conviction, then you'll slip through, won't you? Unless someone definitely qualified because he was shot, he was the scars, difficulty finding a reasonable job because demographic Bean County. Okay, passport is 600 plus 2 photographs. Okay, Home Affairs may intentionally take their time. Yeah, I'm sure they will, Beverly. I'm sure they will. That's why you should have had a passport. So, I mean, I didn't know that I would be traveling abroad when I retired from the Army, but I fully prepared to renew my passport when it's time. Tend not to be able to travel around their own country, never mind overseas. Exactly. Eventually apply for refugee status, will always be seen as a refugee. Oh, that was a question in hospital. No, you eventually become an American citizen, or you stay a refugee until the program is ended and you're sent home, which in the case of South Africa might be never. Thank you for the Vex. Okay, you're welcome. About where to, okay, I was there. So let me jump ahead here. I have no doubt that Home Affairs will make it difficult passport applications. Stefan says, I'm a H-2A worker. The reason I work abroad is because of government policies. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Stefan. You and 100,000 other South Africans. But if you're an American on H-2 Alpha visa, you don't qualify. You're in the United States. You're not being persecuted. The fact you came here is because you were persecuted, but that's before this program existed. So when you go back to South Africa, after your visa ends, if the program is available and you want to come, then you should apply for it. Yep. Okay, now I can finally get to what I want to get to 2 hours into this. Okay, so there's an article in the IOL, the toilet paper record, and this is from Divana Rajgopal, who did a story I talked about previously. This one says, South African Christian leaders stand against U.S. claims of white victimization. So this is comical. So let me get to this. I want to get this a long time ago. So here you go. More than 300 white South African Christian leaders have signed a statement rejecting claims by the United States of America victimization, violence, and hateful rhetoric against white people in South Africa, along with the Expropriation Act. So, you know what? I really don't care what white Christian leaders in South Africa have to say any more than I care what black Christian leaders or Muslim Christian leaders have to say. I really don't care. It has no impact on our foreign policy. And if you think it's going to affect our domestic policy, you're dreaming. As white South Africans in active leadership within the Christian community representing diverse political and theological perspectives, we have unanimously rejected these claims, said the white South African Christian leaders. We make the statement as white South Africans because these claims are being made about us and about our experience in this place. Last week, Donald Trump issued an executive order withdrawing all U.S. government aid to South Africa while Secretary of State announced his refusal to attend the G20. The narrative presented by the U.S. government is founded on fabrications, distortions, and outright lies. It does not reflect the reality of our country. If anything, it serves to heighten existing tensions in South Africa. These Christian leaders are dishonest and shameful people, and they will all rot in hell. They will rot in hell. They will rot in hell. You are not leading your flocks with honesty and humility and belief in God. You're flim-flam artists lying to the world. There are no distortions. The only distortion or misrepresentation was Trump saying they are confiscating land. The government wasn't confiscating land when he made that statement. The correct statement would have been they're preparing to confiscate land because they passed a law that allows for expropriation without compensation. These are not real Christians. These are flim-flam artists. It also detracts from the important work of building safer, healthier communities and addressing the complex history of land dispossession by white Europeans from the black African majority. No, it doesn't. The land that is occupied today has been developed by people, and it wasn't in that state. And taking away and allowing it to fall apart doesn't solve any problem, and it's a distortion of the reality. This does not distract from the work. Why do you so-called Christian leaders care about what Donald Trump says? It has no impact on what you're doing. The money we're giving you isn't used to purchase land. The money we're giving you isn't used to make economic change. The money we're giving you has nothing to do with this. You're lying sacks of horse manure, and you're a shameful people. You're not Christians. Christians who lie and deceive are not Christians. They're fake Christians. We call on our the resultant tensions thereof are now being weaponized for cheap political points in the U.S. Weaponized for what? Nobody in America knows where the hell South Africa is. Nobody cares. What cheap points? Donald Trump isn't getting votes for talking about South Africa. In fact, he's getting a lot of backlash from the political left. Cheap points. These are flim-flam artists. Similarly, there are South African leaders, especially within the white community, who are using the deplorable actions and statements of the President of the United States and his supporters to serve the narrow needs of their local constituencies. Well, that's what you're doing, serving the narrow needs of your constituencies. As so-called Christian leaders, you're not speaking for all South Africans. You're speaking for your flock. And you're spreading racist lies for your constituencies. You're doing exactly what you accuse the so-called white leaders of the community of doing. And you can shove it where the sun don't shine, you so-called Christian leaders, saying that President Trump's actions are deplorable. They're not deplorable. They're honest. They're forthright. And they're morally just. And Christians who are not morally just and righteous will rot in hell. We call on our fellow South Africans to reconsider this dangerous political strategy and rather give their energy towards working for a more just future in South Africa. Well, I don't disagree that people should work for a more just country as South Africa, but the only way to do that is get rid of Bella, the other 141 racially exclusionary laws, NHI, the 3% black tax, and expropriation without compensation, and then remove the ANC cancer from society at the ballot box. Kevin says, may I ask respectfully, and apologies if it's been asked, Kevin, there's no reason to be so humble, but thank you. But under what circumstance do you think Donald Trump would rescind his offer? I don't think he'll rescind his offer. Why would he do that? He didn't rescind the sanctions. He threatened sanctions, or not sanctions, he rescinded the tariffs against China. They're on. He gave a 30-day grace period to Canada and to Mexico, but we wanted something from Canada and Mexico. We've not asked for anything from South Africa. That's what's lost this conversation. America's pressuring South Africa. What have we asked for? Nothing. What have you demanded? Nothing. You lost the aid because you're undermining our national security interests. See, Kevin, this is lost on everybody. This isn't about the Afrikaners. This isn't about expropriation by compensation. This is about, and let me read this to you again, and watch my video. I mean, this is, here, let me just pull this video up, but I'm going to tell you, this is what this is about. This is what this is about, and somehow this is lost on people. I don't understand why. Here you go. That's the one, okay? This video only has 20,000 views. Shame. Here's an advert. Let me get rid of the advert. I don't need to see that. Yeah, so while that's playing, South Africa has taken aggressive positions against or towards the United States and its allies, including Israel, not Hamas, of accusing them of genocide in International Court of Justice. And listen to this, reinvigorating its relations with Iran to develop commercial, military, and nuclear arrangements. I ran through a list of grievances, a partial list of the things that South Africa has done to the United States in the past several years, in a video that I did yesterday. South African politicians are going bat crap crazy, blaming America for intruding in South Africa's internal affairs, interfering in South Africa, dictating, being imperialistic, telling South Africa what to do. Don't know what dimension these people are living in, but the United States isn't doing anything of the sort. Donald Trump is disengaging from South Africa because of a number of egregious offenses against the United States' national interest. And people want to attribute this to Elon Musk. It's all Elon's fault. He's bumhurt about South Africa. Or the most ludicrous one, he misses apartheid. No, he was 18. He didn't have anything to do with apartheid. 18 when he left. Or all the other stuff. It's AfriForum's fault. Look at Afri. So if you're wondering what that is, that's me coming on a flight on the right-hand side of the aircraft approaching the Cape Town International Airport at dusk coming into Cape Town. On the right-hand side, you see the impact of load shedding. This was during load shedding in Cape Town. Over my shoulder there, you can see there's only a few lights in that part of town. That area is out near Blaubergstrand, not quite that far. That's Table View, I think. Anyway, so that was, it goes on. There's a bunch of stuff here, so let me see if I got one of them here. This is a lot of bluster and empty nonsense because list of requirements that the U.S. asked for those who participate in. And the idea was for South Africa to wean itself off that aid. Why is it $8.1 billion. So here's a list of the things that are applicable in the relationship with the U.S. and South Africa. And then I give a whole list of the things where they have offended the United States, imposed a 75% tariff on our poultry, refused to condemn the Russian invasion, the racist narrative of vaccine apartheid that Cyril Ramaphosa slandered us with. They are friends with Hamas. They refused to condemn Hamas. They blamed Israel. They sanctioned, they allowed the Russian ship Lady R to come in. I'm trying to get to the next one here. Okay. The naval exercise, Operation Mosi, anti-American ties with Moscow, Beijing, and Havana, actively undermining our currency with BRICS, as populist attacks on Trump, telling Trump he can keep his America, joined 83 other countries last Friday in attacking the U.S. over our ICC sanctions, refused to sign Article 98 waiver of the Rome Statute, demanded that Taiwan move its diplomatic mission, and it just goes on and on. Here's another one here. Violates the Vienna Convention, money laundering, a Russian-sanctioned military cargo plane landed at Waterkloof, and they actually trained former U.S. and NATO pilots to teach the Chinese military how to fly at the flight test or test flying academy in South Africa. Yeah, and they participated in a communist-funded indoctrination program in Tanzania. That's just a minor list of the things they've done, the egregious offenses against the United States. That's what this is about. The Afrikaner thing was just thrown in. So worrying about it rescinded, I wouldn't lose any sleep over that. How many people actually go? Theorize a number? 50 to 150,000. And someone said it's a logistical nightmare. No, it's not. No, it's not. Delta and even South African Airways will put more flights on from Cape Town and Joburg to fly you here to Atlanta. It's not a logistical nightmare. Relax. But wait, America can't handle us. Folks, we absorbed 30 million criminals who invaded our country. Perfectly fine. And we took in 160,000 Afghans in a matter of about 15 days. 15 days. It was like the Mariel boat lift. So I don't think it's going to be a logistical nightmare. We can handle it. We can handle it. Busy Bees, please ask everyone to report fake news on social media so we can try and stop misinformation. I would appreciate on social media if you would take the link to my 14 questions asked and share that on social media so that people go watch that video and get the truth. That would help me out a lot and would help South Africans out even more. So here you go. This is the link again. Copy this and you can go post that in your social media and any place you find where somebody's telling you bullshit. There you go. There's the link. I'll pin that at the top now. Replace pin message. So that's the link. Please share it on social media, folks. I know there's only 350 of you here. Most of you know this place already, but somewhat. Kevin, thank you for answering my question. You're welcome, Kevin. Thank you for asking in such a polite manner. Really, very nice of you. Okay. I guess about 100,000 would go. If it's a good deal, it's an incredible deal. It's an incredible deal. It doesn't get better than this. Good morning, the Prodigy. It doesn't get better, folks. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Anyway, the Cape Town Jazz Festival is coming up. Tickets are going on sale from the racketeering organization known as Ticketmaster. It's April 25th and 26th. So I'm looking at to go into Cape Town Jazz Festival in April, if anybody's going to be there. So 43,000, what is that, my subscriber count? It's slow over the weekend here. It slowed down. 43,839. Yeah, cool. The Great Trek, let's see how that's doing. It's still slow viewership because it's a weekend. Yeah, I'm still on the bottom end, only 4,500 views. So, cool beans. But let me see how many comments are. 69 comments. People forgotten our history and why we came here. We Protestants came. I know why you came there. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for telling us the truth. Livestock. Trump opened up a Pandora's box of memes. Yep. We Afrikaans people in South Africa are not refugees. We love South Africa. Well, good for you. Stay there. All these aspiring refugees are coming to Pennsylvania, Colonel. I don't think they are. 40 to 50,000 people interested in the refugee status. It shows you how the ANC has failed. Yeah, that's right. Sadly, desperate people are easily misled. Yep, they sure are. I recall you saying at the time this executive order was signed by Trump on a Saturday that come Monday, the American embassies would be inundated. You were wrong. Afrikaners are not that keen. Yeah, well, you're full of it. Somebody told me that I said the embassy would be inundated, and I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. So how does this person know the embassy hasn't been inundated this week? How do they know how many emails they've gotten? Kevin, thank you for your membership. So this person said, I recall you saying at the time the executive order came out, Trump, on a Saturday. Came out on a Friday. It was Saturday for you, but it was Friday for me. That come Monday, the American embassy would be inundated. You were wrong. Afrikaners are not that keen to leave South Africa. You were implying that I said Afrikaners were keen to leave South Africa. I never said that. I said that people have interest, and I said they're likely being inundated. Don't twist my words and lie. This person, I said, you're full of it. Have you spoken to the IT staff of the embassy? I know you haven't spoken to the IT staff. You don't know if their servers crashed because of the number of emails coming in. You don't know their switchboard melted down because of the number of phone calls. I know for a fact that happened. So stop being an ass, this person here. Stop being silly. What about the English? I've answered that question a million times. Go watch my other videos. People must take a deep breath and only work on through the U.S. Embassy. Just wait for them. Thank you for your channel. Yep, helps a lot. Thank you, Chris. I'm waiting for the application update. Thank you, Chris. I think people are panicking. They're panicking a lot. Perhaps born Afrikaners in sunny South Africa should start pulling fingers after sitting around unable to come up with self-governance since '94. Going to share this. Thank you for that. thank you for the factual report. Anyway, so people are saying nice things for the most part, but one person's telling me nonsense. People hear what they want to hear. I got a comment from someone, or an email from someone telling me I said something in a thing, and they corrected me. I said, I never said that. I read someone's comment, and then I rubbished it. I said that at the beginning of this. Pierre agrees with me. I'm not sure what you're agreeing with me, but thank you. Steve Young in South Africa, you are called an Afrikaner. You are considered to be white. I will ask the refugee invitation. I will ask again this. Steve, I will answer the question again. We don't know. And it doesn't matter what you think an Afrikaner is. It doesn't matter what I think an Afrikaner is. It matters what the U.S. government identifies as an Afrikaner. And as I said on that video, the first one, 4.5 hours, less than 3 hours after Trump issued this executive order, when it says simply Afrikaners, I said that that's likely to be modified to say ethnic minorities. And in fact, the State Department at the embassy in South Africa, that's in the groups, the link is there. You don't have to trust me. Go look at it. It says ethnic minorities. But it has not been defined, Steve. So it's very likely that coloreds and Indians and some black South Africans could qualify for this. But we don't know. I've answered it again. I don't think I'm opening people's eyes enough, Michael. I keep answering the same questions, and the same people are still in the chat. Maybe the problem is I'm speaking too fast, or I get distracted by other stories as I answer questions. I don't know. Vielleicht soll es auch auf Deutsch alles erklären. Das ist vielleicht das Einfache auf Deutsch. Ja, ich bedanke mich, Rufani Freibes, für die 100 Rand. Das ist aber nett von euch, von dir. Verzeihung, von dir. Ja, vielleicht so I should speak German. No race-based categorization in the U.S., not based on race. Exactly. Well, Mickey, we expect that to be the case. We don't know for sure. I'm familiar with the U.S. Constitution so long as there's nothing else to do, and it's important to know the Constitution. Yeah, it's important to know the Constitution, but our government doesn't. They violated it and oppressed people under the Biden regime. Yeah, well, I've referred people to the video. I just pinned it, Charles. You're welcome, Steve. My pleasure. Thank you for asking. Thankful to Trump and the people of America who have given us the opportunity to have a better life. Nobody will come to save you. At least in America, you'll have to have peace of mind. Maggie Schneider, I'm keen to go and grateful for the opportunity. These people so, again, so here, how many people, okay. Let me ask this question, okay? Now, let me just ask this, and it's going to be a skewed poll because it isn't the 2,800 people who've been here, but I'm going to ask this question. Okay, did you ask Chris a question in this stream about refugiestas? Okay? All right, there you go. So if you asked the question, not if you answered a question, but if you asked the question, okay, hang on a second here. See, this all gets turned into this refugee stuff. I'll be glad when this thing is sorted because it's really exhausting, to be honest. And we're not talking about the news and culture and the good parts of South Africa. Okay, so start the poll. Okay, so I'm going to put that poll up. Did you ask me a question? Be honest. If you asked me a question, I'm just trying to get a feel for this. It's kind of like the polls I did for the first week where people ask me to do a poll. How many people want to come? 67 to 69% of people in every single poll, including 3,000 and 4,000 people answering the poll who came to this stream, said they want to leave on the refugee program. Now, that is not a representative sample of South Africa, but it is a representative sample of people who want to leave. As I said, 40 to 50,000 people alone have contacted me. One dude in Pennsylvania, which is 40,000 subscribers, and 3 weeks ago, 20,000 subscribers, and I've had at least 40, 50,000 requests before we even got to tonight. Okay? So, the problem is people are, I'm not going to say that. Okay? Tim says, stick around here, everyone. Yep, you would most definitely know what to do. Okay. More pink than white. Well, Michael, I'm pink. I'm not white. I'm very pink. Herhad, I want to urge fellow South Africans to stop following mainstream media for information. No, I wouldn't recommend following Fox News either. Fox News is not a very serious news organization. It's glitz and glam too. You can watch it, but don't take your advice on South Africa there. They don't know what they're talking about. Shitty life the government created for them. Yep. Colonel Check who wrote the thread. Where am I going to check that? It's not in the story. Where do you guys find that? I'm just reading it in the news. Okay, and they didn't give the names. Jurgen says, I think people are angry if people can go, and it's not even your fault. Well, you're right, Jurgens, and I don't really care. What have I said from the beginning? I'm not encouraging anyone to leave. I think it's sad that you want to leave. I'm not discouraging either. If people are too stupid and want to blame me for their failures in life, that's on them. That's on them. I can't help people who are stupid. You can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid. People want to blame me for their situation. That's on them. That's the same people that blame the ANC. And they do nothing to improve their situation. You're welcome, Kevin. Thanks for being here. Hey, Game, what's going on, man? No, Crypto Noob, I didn't enjoy the rugby. It was miserable. The Stormers were atrocious, and I was tired, and the Bulls choked. Yep. What county in the USA has the best rugby players? What county? I would say, I don't know what county. We have thousands of counties. What state? California, Pennsylvania have great rugby players. That's a couple places. I'm just glad people like you deliver accurate news and updates. There's so much fake news. Yeah, but, given the interest in this, I ought to have hundreds of thousands of people watching my program and, 250,000 subscribers by now, but I don't. It's kind of frustrating. And the reason I want that is so that people get real information, not the bogus nonsense going on. Anyway, back to here. So be a little empathetic with people. Not everyone is glued to live or able to follow the cast. Others just discover this channel. Well, Chosan, if you're inferring that I'm not empathetic and I've not been considerate, and I've also, when I answer questions, tell people it's not directed to them, then you're not listening, and I can't help you. This isn't a channel for people to get information about. You know what? I mean, if that's your view, then inundate the U.S. Embassy. That's what they're there for. That's what they get paid for. I don't get paid. So I've been more than empathetic. If you don't think I'm empathetic, then I'm sorry. Just go. I appreciate your thoughts and your comments, but it's 1:42 in the morning. I don't get paid for this. And I've been very sympathetic, very polite, very friendly. I've answered all these questions hundreds of times. People aren't answering the videos. Why are they not answering the videos? This stream doesn't say anything about, the name of this stream is not the Refugee Reef Program. It's Sunrise with a Colonel, daily dose of news, views, and analysis. I didn't get people to come here by advertising it as the answer to the refugee stuff. People have come here. I've politely answered it, even though that wasn't the subject of this program tonight. And I've been answering it for an hour and 20 minutes politely after midnight. So I'm sorry if you feel that way. And that's why the gentleman earlier, Kevin, who was very reserved and polite, I said he didn't have to be. He was almost obsequious. But Kevin, thank you for the question. If it comes across as harsh to you, then you've got a really, really thin skin. Anyway. But I'm not going to apologize. But I appreciate where you're coming from. And that's why I make a great effort to tell people that's not directed at the person who asked the question. Because the question's been asked many, many times. The one that had never been asked, the one that was a surprise to me, it was someone sent me a text message and asked if they could bring livestock. That caught me off guard. I really didn't expect that. Yeah, Fox News. Morning, Brett. You're welcome. We farm in the Crew. Montana is similar to the Karoo. You get cold winters, though. That's going to be a shock for you. New Mexico or Nevada would be similar to the Karoo. Gavin, thank you for doing this because to find information about this has become more and more difficult. I suspect they are hiding information. Yeah, I'm sure they are. The pain of chocolate, Chris, you won't be able to make everyone happy. Exactly, pain. I can't. I mean, I could sit here and just, smile and be polite. Like last night, or was it earlier today? People like, you're tired, Boats. You're tired. I'm not tired. Why are you so cranky? I'm not cranky. I'm not cranky. I mean, I have a right to be cranky. I've answered the same damn question 80,000 times, but I'm not cranky. Would we be able to take a ship to America? I have a real abnormal fear of flying. Well, Ludwig, I'm not aware of any ships that transit from Africa to America. No commercial ships. The only commercial ships that come to America are ones that come from Europe or Latin America. And the ones from Latin America usually originate in Miami or Baltimore or New York or somewhere like that. So no, not to my knowledge, unless you hopped on a cargo ship. Cargo ships probably come here, container ships, but that's not a fun voyage. But cruise ships only come from Europe, and usually it's from the UK, but not exclusively. So I don't think so. You may have to may have to. That's a good question, Ludwig. I haven't heard that question asked before. That's a fair question, though. That's actually one that I'm sure there are people afraid of flying, but you have to make a decision if you're coming here. If you want to come here, you're just going to have to suck it up. There are ways for people who have fears of flying or uncomfortable with flying to overcome it. Yep. Thank you for your time. Don't pay too much attention. No, that person's not a troll. I think the person inferred something that I wasn't implying. Good morning, Melinda. Find it amazing that Chris answers most everyone's questions without the bullshit. You should go rest now. Yeah, the other thing, Jan, is that who else does this? Tell me somebody that's doing this. I'd like to go check out their channel. The Roots fam. Is that a swarm? Yes, Chris, you have been so patient, kind, and generous. We all appreciate it. Thank you, Kathleen Barnard. And thank you, Rowan Futz, for subscribing. Anyone noticing a shot where people wearing land? Huh? I have no idea what you're saying there, Bussoff. I always thought Montana was just forest. No, Montana has lots of prairies. There's forest in the west, but the eastern part's all flat prairies. Based on Discovery series like Mountain Men. Well, you have to look at this state. It's a big state. In fact, let's do that. Let's do that very quickly here. Let me go there and we'll bring up maps. Okay? Maps. Google. Okay, here we go. Zoom out from Pennsylvania. Why are you not going out? God bless, Google. Get a little faster. There we go. Okay, here we go. So, all right, we're going to zoom in, okay? Boom. There is the continental United States. Alaska and Hawaii are not in there. You'll notice that much of America is north of the southern part of Canada. Look at this. This is where the line goes across. Okay, so we're going to go to Montana, which is up here, okay? There's Montana, okay? So Montana's border runs all in this area here in the center. So the green stuff in the west, thank you for your membership. Oh, who is that? Captain somebody. Yeah, so Montana in the west is all mountains and forests, but in the east it's all flatlands and prairies. Got some Indian reservations, the Crow Reservation, the Fort Peck Indian Reservation, the Blackfeet Reservation, the Flathead Reservation, the Nez Perce. Those are all there. Oh, no, that's in Idaho, excuse me. Nez Perce in Idaho. So we've got a bunch of Indian reservations. So, yep. Montana is very diverse geologically. Did you see a WIN yesterday call a pro-Trump rally? No, I didn't see it, but it was a pro-Trump rally. That's true. It's so weird that only the USA is paying attention to what's happening to all the other countries. Actually, Ron, it's not. No one in America is paying attention. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Captain Caprivi. Ooh, someone from the Caprivi Zipful. Yeah, no one cares in America. No one's paying attention. This is not even news here. Your work ethic's insane. Channel deserves far more subscribers. You are live every time I open this app. Well, that's good, Cracker Barrel. Maybe I'll get people to come here. I don't want to be anywhere close to Canada. Justin's leaving. Justin Trudeau is leaving. So, most people say they did ask a question. Spoke to an old friend from Potchefstroom this morning. Very much. What's this? He sent me away with a flea in my ear saying they want nothing from the Orange Man. Says they hate Orange Man. Well, good for them. You can hate all you want. What befalls you, befalls you. Stay there. That's your country. Save it. Save it. Been researching the National Democratic Revolution idea. Very interesting correlations. Yeah, Maoism, Leninism. Yep, Marxism. A Safa reservation. Thank you for your time. You're welcome, Jacqueline. Can you do an overlay of South Africa on USA map? I don't have one handy. Is it safe to be next to Canada? Sure, Canada's a fine place. A lot of good Canadians. Their politics are just messed up, but ours were messed up until November. Wheat's grown all over. We grow wheat right here in central Pennsylvania. We rotate the crops between maize and wheat and soybeans every year. Rotate. Put the legumes in there, enrich the nitrogen in the soil, switch over to maize, switch back to wheat. Yep, winter wheat. We grow winter wheat here. You plow and plant in October, November. The seedlings come up very quickly, freezes over. Wintertime, spring, it takes off, and then you harvest it in the summertime. You get straw and you get wheat. South Africans do not like extreme cold weather. I'm well aware of that. You guys whine when it's 20 degrees. He's not orange. That's a golf tan. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's unfortunate that people don't like Donald Trump. That's their problem, not mine. And why the vitriol and hatred from these people? Because Donald Trump has offered you something. See, the problem is that these are lazy people that don't have the ability to think for themselves. They're being told that Donald Trump has attacked South Africa. He hasn't. It's our money. It's not yours. It's not your money. It's my tax dollars that we give. $500 million a year to South Africans because you can't take care of your HIV crisis and you expect us to pay for it as taxpayers in America. Why are we responsible for paying for HIV? In 2003, President George Walker Bush created the President's Emergency Program for AIDS relief. It was a 5-year program budgeted for $3 billion a year for a total of $15 billion to help countries overcome the black swan event of the HIV crisis, which some of us warned them were coming for years and they ignored us because they called us racist. Then it happened, and then our country bailed them out. But they were supposed to wean off of that program within 5 years. That deadline was 17 years ago. The start of the program was 20 years ago. Why in the world is South Africa getting $364 million this year from the United States to fight HIV? That's the government of South Africa's responsibility, not our responsibility. And for people to hate Trump because we have no money and we're not going to give you money, that is just asinine and self-centered and arrogant and selfish. Fix your own problem, not our problem. Trump set South Africa free. And to say that Trump's interfering in South African politics, no. If you give people money, then you demand things from them. Okay, we'll give you this money if you do this. We're not doing that. The money's coming back. We want nothing. Done and dusted. Anybody that says anything bad about Trump and makes these false claims, I don't care if they're an Afrikaner, a Boer, a Portuguese, a German, a Costa Azula, they're a fool. And I'll tell them to their face. They're a fool. No country should have to pay for another country's HIV. You create a problem. Fine. Exactly, Beverly. We have given South Africa. Did that say Neil DeBeer? That's a different Neil DeBeer. It's not my Neil. We have given South Africa $8.1 billion. 150 billion rand over the past 22 years. That's 150 billion rand the ANC didn't have to come up with to fund civil society to deal with this. We also provided antiretrovirals for free. We also brought antiretrovirals. Thank you, Renee Donhauser. When Thabo Mbeki was refusing to let them in the country, he refused. And 650,000 people were born with HIV as a consequence of it. A Burmese living in Joburg, now married to an Afrikaner. I cannot go back to my country. Yeah, if you're from Myanmar, as they call it today, but Burma, yeah, you got a problem there, buddy. But I would imagine you could probably get refugee status as a spouse of an Afrikaner if the Afrikaner got it. Anyway, he's pissed Trump took away USA. It says 5,000 lost jobs as a result of it's hurting people. Really? He lost 5,000 jobs? That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't care if the NGOs are corrupt. It's not it's not his money. Your friend in Potchefstroom can stuff it. I don't care. Why is it my job to pay for your NGOs and those jobs? Turn to the ANC. Direct your anger at the ANC. That's the government of South Africa's job, not my job, not me as a taxpayer. Why am I funding that? Because we don't have the money. We borrowed that money to give to South Africa. So my grandchildren have to pay that debt back 30 years from now with interest at twice what we borrowed so that South Africans can get a free ride because your government's stealing. So your friend in Potchefstroom, I don't care about him. I don't know him. But his worldview is whacked. Is he going to give me free grain if my crop fails? I don't think so. It's been asked before, but what's the best farming state? Every state has farming. Crop farming in most states is possible. Real question check is where all that money landed. Well, I wouldn't worry about that. We have pretty control of that. It doesn't go to the government. It goes to NGOs and third-party contractors. You want to cry now? It's not your money. Exactly. It's what the guy in Kenya said. It's not your money. You want to cry now. Charmaine Fenter, 140 rand. Thank you for that. And Theodorus, Colonel, from my understanding, PEPFAR and HIV program still continue. It never stopped, Theodorus. It never stopped. Fake news, lies, and lies from the NGOs, the very NGOs that were getting the money, lied to South Africans. Ladies and gentlemen, the executive order Donald Trump signed on January 20th, I covered this on January 20th and 21st, said no new funding commitments in foreign aid. It didn't stop foreign aid. The media reported he stops foreign aid for 90 days. No, he stopped new funding commitments. Anything that was already in the pipeline, a contract already signed to deliver antiretrovirals or transportation was already in effect. The money can't be pulled. Only new funding commitments for 90 days. That's all it did. And the world lost its mind. And NGOs in South Africa and politicians lied. Trump has stopped foreign aid. No, he didn't. He stopped new spending commitments. And I'm the only freaking person in the world, including the Trump administration, not telling people this. So on the 28th of January, ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, sign a humanitarian waiver explicitly explaining to these dunderheads around the world that the aid for humanitarian purposes like antiretrovirals and the administrative costs of delivering them and staffing them are not frozen. Not frozen. Now, what has happened to South Africa is that the president has said that's the end of foreign aid. The Secretary of State and the American Embassy have made it clear that doesn't apply to PEPFAR. But that's PEPFAR that's approved in this budget through September 30th. October 1st, you're screwed. The money's gone unless something changes. See, it's not rocket science, but it just takes a clear, level-headed mind, unemotional approach to this. And someone that actually has worked in PEPFAR, someone that's run PEPFAR programs, someone that established PEPFAR programs all over Africa, Niger, Mauritania. Yep. Ran HIV programs in Liberia. That's another one I set it up. Ran them in Botswana, in Malawi, in Uganda. Someone that's there from the outset that knows how this stuff works, knows how foreign aid works. That'd be me to deliver this to you in an honest fashion. So anyway, see those fat HIV workers complaining that the aid is cut. Interesting how much they got. Yeah, exactly. All the crying on SABC, just the usual victim. Exactly. The arrogance of people to attack my country because we don't have money to give you anymore. Hey, we're bankrupt. We have no money. No money. There's no room at the inn. 35, I've never been out of South Africa in my life. Would love to see other countries. Well, Karen, it'd be great for you to travel around. You have a lovely avatar. It's tiny. Let's see if I'm seeing it correctly. It looks lovely from here. I get a little peek there. Yeah, it's a lovely avatar. Okay. Darty, welcome back. Jacques, I bet those NGOs are looting the funds. I don't know. Trump should please pull AGOA. Yes, Joe. That would be punishment in South Africa, which is what South Africans aren't paying attention to. If Trump suspends AGOA, then you're in the crapper. $3 billion a year in goods sent to America at a minimum are under AGOA and no duty on them. Yep, you can call me That's fine, Ravani. You know you can do that. What times are you going live again? Jurgens, it'll be Sunday. I don't have a guest tomorrow, so probably 11 Eastern, so 6 p.m. South Africa time, if you're asking. Stephanie Labaskakni. Sorry if this is a repeated question. Can we be relatively sure that the policy won't change? No, you can't. You can't be sure. Stefan. I thought this was Stephanie. Sorry, Stefan. Stefan Labaskakni. No, you can't be sure at all. You can't be. Refugee programs are stopped. Donald Trump came into office on January 20th. We had refugee programs all over the world, bringing people from Afghanistan, from Syria, from Myanmar, from Venezuela, from Haiti, from Cuba here. And Donald Trump full stop the program because of massive corruption on January 20th. So these programs can't stop. The law still exists, which allows for it to happen, but it's up to the president to decide if the law is being used properly. So yes, it can stop. So, but we don't know. They might also put a time frame on it. I doubt that, though. Lovely head of hair. Thank you, Darty. Yeah, this is all me, all natural. Yep, lovely. Yeah, it's all me. Thank goodness. I had good DNA there. My grandfather's brother's son good Lord, my grandfather's brother's son made contact. He heard he left when we left Rhodesia. He told me of 182 first cousins U.S. told him it's just my sons and I. Unless the ANC stop their crap and change 142 racial and stop supporting terror around Israel, they will receive money again with new budget. Huh? Oh, they will not receive money. Yeah, that's the point. Thank you for all your work. All my sympathy. No, really. People are frightened. They're nervous. They don't understand. Look, the average person doesn't have the experience, hasn't done the things I've done. So it's understandable that they don't know this. There's also a concerted propaganda effort by the ANC politicians to demonize America, to mislead South Africans. And I even see it here in America. There's some twit who's got a Twitter account, and that's why I call him a twit. And he's telling South Africans that, oh, I'm saving the Boers. And he just copies what people write about, all this stuff going on. And he just posts in his Twitter and he reposts things. And he's got thousands of people following him now. And he's telling people, I'll tell you about culture in America. And it's just nonsense. That's why I made the video. Watch out for the grifters. Watch out for the people misleading you, the charlatans, because there's a lot of them out there. So look, I understand. I get it. I mean, if I were in your shoes, if I were living in Zeerust and my farm had been broken into twice and my wife had been raped and my cattle stolen, my sheep gutted in the gully, and the police did nothing about it and treated me with disdain, disrespect because I'm white when they came out, if they bothered to come, I would be unhappy too.
If I were prevented from selling my property the way I wanted to, I would be unhappy too. If my son went to university and couldn't get in because he was white, I would be upset too. If my daughter was a trained nurse and lost her job for hiring for someone because of their skin color and she couldn't get a job, I would be upset. I appreciate and understand. I also understand Afrikaners and Boer. Africa is in your blood. Even considering such a decision is heart-rending. It's heart-rending. It's difficult. It just goes to show you how desperate things are. And when the 300 Christian church leaders and when organizations say that this is nonsense and that nobody's going to take it up and no one would ever leave, and they insult people by saying, but only the poor would leave or only the useless would leave, which is what some people have said, it's unbelievably arrogant and shows a lack of empathy. And that's why I responded to the question about empathy. You want to talk about empathy? I'm pouring empathy. It's oozing out of my pores here, out of my skin, empathy for South Africans, black, white, and brown. There's a reason why I promote Tswana, Basotho, and Afrikaans culture and language on this program, because all three of them are treated with disdain by the rest of South Africa, those in charge, and other groups, but I can't promote everybody. I also focus a lot on coloreds, but that's a different community altogether. It is beyond disrespectful to dismiss people's genuine fears and concerns. I've seen it up close and close in South Africa. However, I also realize that many will not take this up, and that's fine. If nobody comes here, that's great, if you're able to survive in South Africa. But South Africa is not getting the aid, and they never should get the aid again. We don't have the money. If we have a balanced budget and we have the extra money and we decide we want to help South Africa, then we can reconsider it. Henny says, if you look at Africa's history, all the colonies that were free from consolidation are in the dumps. South Africa next. Only Botswana stands out. El Marie Maya says, thank you so much for live stream, but I have to go. Okay, no worries. Louis Trichard. Okay, in Limpopo. Okay. Is Willie Foosball one of those grifters? That sounds familiar, Mickey. If that's a Twitter account, if someone says something that's untrue on that channel, someone might want to post a link from my 14 frequently asked questions there. Just saying. If you're looking at, okay, South Africans are very hard workers. True, but not really anything to do with the refugee program. Is the American dream still possible to obtain if you start life over? Of course. Jesus for all. People come here every day from around the world. Every year, the United States naturalizes 750,000 to 900,000 foreign nationals to become Americans. And they make it just fine. After 5 years, the average immigrant, not refugee, but immigrant, even refugees, but the average immigrant after 5 years has a higher per capita income than someone born in America. Yolanda says it's stressful. Well, it shouldn't be stressful because right now there's nothing open to you. It's just a promise of something. If you attach your hopes to a promise, then you run the risk of being disappointed. Until there's a concrete program, there's no point in getting excited. Easy for me to say, doesn't affect me. Hard for you to experience. Yep. All right, I'm going to end that poll. 85% of people said it. So 300 votes, that means that 45 people. So there's 45 questions I answered in that brief period. And that was in about a half hour. 45 questions, people asked questions in that half hour. I hope I answered all of them. I might have missed a few. So that's 45 in a half an hour. That's 90 per hour. That's 3 hours. That's at least 270, 300 questions I've answered in this conservatively about the refugee program in this stream. And this is after it's all tapered off. Should have been a 4.5 hour stream last week. Oof. Yep. Yeah, waiting for the media to calm down. Well, the media will calm down. Has anybody heard anything about Nobbs and Kesey? I'm an ANC, bitch. Not in the news. Anybody heard anything about Roman Kabanak? Not in the news. They'll move on. They might come back to it, but they'll move on. You cannot return to South Africa under refugee program. Will we be able to go to other countries? As far as I know, Stefan, you can travel to other countries because you're not being persecuted there. The reason you can't go back to the country you're persecuted from is because if you're going back, then how were you persecuted? Why do we give you refugee status if you can go back, if it's safe to go back? Important to stress, this is still in maybe territory, and lots of guys pushing we won't leave narrative. Yeah, that's BS, Ludwig. A lot of the people adamantly saying that will be the ones that are getting their visas and their passports and their money moved abroad right now. Yeah, there's a lot of dishonesty in this whole argument. Not for me, though. Anyway, I wanted to share this the whole time. So anybody read this book, Great Johannesburg by Nicholas Bauer? I wish it didn't have a News 24 Book of the Month label on there. That almost makes it unreadable, just seeing it says News 24 on it. But yeah, I'm going to read that at some point. And these are coming up my list for next books to read. The Battle of Bangui, what happened in the Central African Republic. So don't know if anybody knows that book as well. Ludwig sleeps on books, gets smarter. It doesn't work. It just gives you a stiff neck. Well, Theodorus, I put a link to the U.S. Embassy in the 2 WhatsApp groups and in the Telegram group. So, 22nd of February, no idea. Something I don't know about. I'm so thankful for President Trump's offer. Rhodesians could flee to South Africa. We literally have nowhere to flee to on our borders, as all are hostile towards. No, not all. That's untrue, Rory. That's untrue. Botswana's not hostile to Afrikaners. A higher percentage of Botswana's population is white than South Africa's. About 8%, 8.5% of Botswana's population is actually, now you'll find distorted figures, but I live there. It's about 8.5% is white. And there are plenty of Afrikaners. Former agriculture minister is an Afrikaner. I think 4th generation in Botswana. Was there when it was Bechuanaland. So no, not every country is hostile to you. Thanks for much advice. 52-year-old SWAT instructor, firearm industry for 28 years, have been rejected because minor discrimination. Yep. My grandfather was killed in Rhodesia. So sorry to hear that, Pierre Rousseau. Yeah, Botswana is cool. Unfortunately, it had Eric Masisi as its president and a disastrous 5 years, but he's gone. He's been ousted, but the opposition now is a leftist, and hopefully he won't destroy it, but it's still a great country. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. That's 3 hours for tonight. I'll be back on at 6 p.m. South Africa time on Sunday. Unless something breaks, I'll do a story or I'll do news other than that. Please go watch my videos. Under the Boca playlist, you'll find all the videos that are related to South Africa and about this issue. I may have to make a new playlist just for the refugee program thing. I'll do that soon. Successful businessman 5 years, and we'll relocate family. We are businessmen. We'll have to go more or less. Wow, 105 people. Wow. Yeah, that's the other thing. People are asking questions, and it's on behalf of a lot of the people. Gustav on his channel yesterday saying war is coming. Same old. I've met Gustav Muller. Nice guy. Nice, personable, but I haven't been in touch with him since I first went to Uppington a couple years ago. Love you, Chris. Thank you for all your work. You're very welcome. Lekker zondag für Hollemense. Liefde on Groente. Okay. All right. Thank you, Chris. Apologies, and thank you. We do appreciate all your work. No reason to apologize, guys. Some of us are here to get information because you don't lie to us. Yep. You're very welcome. You're all very welcome. Thanks, guys. Have a good night and be safe out there. And I'll leave you with my video, my slideshow. Cheers. I'll see you in a few hours.
Wat geht alle? Geen kop.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go. towards the sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on
This morning I'm sharing the stage with guinea fowl, and quite a few of them, as you can see. They're sharing the stage with guinea fowl and barking dogs in a residential area here in Somerset West.